Hey, before we start, I'm going to use the restroom.
Okay.
Be right back.
Yeah, do your thing. No, submedian. It's not going to be a one person podcast. I can't do that. So.
Can I use your restroom real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
Wait, what the?
Hello, and welcome to our 99 party, where we are XP Waste. I'm Michael.
And I'm Oxie. If you're new around here, you showed up just for the 99 party, which, like, respectable. We appreciate you. But if you want to know what we're actually doing, we're a podcast that talks almost exclusively about old school RuneScape. You picked a hell of a day to join up if today's the day, because we're going to kind of be talking about RuneScape, but mostly getting drunk on RuneScape themed drinks. But we also get off on tangents, which this episode's going to be a lot of, because we have an AMA in front of us that we've had out for about 2 weeks.
This is the tangent episode.
This is literally the tangent episode. So if you're here just for RuneScape, watch a different one, and this one's going to be great when you get to that point. If you're not new around here, Flash 2 gzgzgzgz. We fucking made it. What's another fun fact about the week this episode releases, Michael?
So this week is actually our 2-year anniversary of posting episodes.
Yeah.
So it kind of coincided really cool that our 99th, our maxing podcasting episode is B's on the ground right there. So cute.
Oh my God, it's a bee.
Hey, B.
Hi, little lady.
Come back, special guest.
Oh.
Hey,
hello.
There she is. You want to say something, B? Nibbles had a spot, remember? Now you can say something.
Dingy woman.
Anyway, it's been 2 years, and it kind of coincided really neatly with our 99th episode. And yeah, we didn't plan it. We really did not plan it this way, but here we are. Here we are.
We're back. This has been an absolutely abhorrently chaotic start to an episode. Turns out you can't have video turned on for more than 25 people in Discord. Wish we would have known that beforehand, because that sucks. But we're just going to roll with it. So we're technically streaming on Twitch right now for the first time ever. So who knows what could come of this absolute fucking chaotic mess. So if you are new around here, the patrons in the recording booth chat can't watch us like they normally do for episode 99. So we are streaming it on Twitch, and they're also still talking in the recording booth chat. But I'm about to get partnered on Twitch completely accidentally. I can't interact with the Twitch chat like that right now, guys. We got to do the show, but thank you for the support. I'm just going to stick it back into what's it called? I'm going to stick it back into the show. Why are we here, Michael?
Oxie, we're here because we are level 99 podcasters.
We are here because we're level 99 podcasters. So where do you normally live?
So I don't live in Michigan. We're here.
Obviously.
Hello.
Together.
This is not a camera trick.
This is not a camera trick.
We're here.
Punch him in the face right now. It'd be great.
Oh, man. I live in Texas.
You do?
Yep. So it wasn't episode 50. I'm getting my dates mixed up. It was the meetup where Oxie came to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We did this very thing in my office, and then now we're here, and we're doing it.
We're doing it.
We're
here,
boys.
We're doing it. It's hype. There's voids.
We can't hear either of you. Shut up. What?
I was gonna say submedian. I'll kill you. I don't think you understand. I'll kill you, submedian.
You are dead to me.
I hear an ad.
We got him.
I think we finally got it.
We're back.
We finally got it to work.
All right, we're starting this over again.
I honestly, I say we don't start it over, and we let the first intro be our genuine intro, and we just raw dog it from here.
Okay. I mean, that's episode 99, right? Like,
yeah,
that's the theme.
So, like, we're back. We finally fucking figured it out. We needed to put ourselves on different audio tracks and then start streaming on a different audio track because stupid. But for all of you who hung out with us the whole time, thank you, because it's
33 of you in Discord, and
yeah, it's
how
wild.
Many in Twitch? There's
I'm
45 in Twitch. That's amazing.
Here's the thing. I'm ready to start drinking.
Let's drink.
I'm going
After all of that,
After all this, all right.
we are drinking. Okay,
So,
let's start with the brew.
we have some things to talk about.
We do.
What are some iconic potions you take places?
Everybody takes brews and restores everywhere. I mean, we could have done range potions, but like
Michael said, "Oh, well, range potions are made with wine of Zamrock, so could we mix wine with something that's blue?" And I said, "No, we cannot."
it would have been good though, like a nice white wine with like a blue raspberry drink. That would have been good. You're giving me that look, but I don't know why.
So the first thing we're starting off with is an Amalfi Martini made with limoncello for the Sarah Dolman brew. So the first thing we're gonna do here is we're just gonna take some lemons and stick them in. Just
Stick 'em in
jam
there.
them. Just jam. Oh yeah.
You probably move your microphone a little bit. So
Move
Why are
it,
your headphones still
move
on?
it fucking where? Why, my headphones are still on, aren't they? We don't need these off. We can take these off.
that little comeback was like, boom! Now he's wearing headphones.
Yeah, that's our audio work right there. Just give it do a little dance, make a little love, get some lemons up in that motherfucker.
Okay,
You hold that. God, I should have brought some paper towel in here.
I can grab one.
No, it's fine. It's
Okay.
too late now. So normally the limoncello is like.
Wine is not a mixer. Ice Nine Chill says in the.
Oh, should
recording
we?
video chat.
Is this the gin drink or is this the vodka drink?
Where's the gin? We don't have gin, right?
Oh, we can go get it.
You bought vodka though. You bought vodka when it was supposed to be gin. Oh well. Keep
Two
going.
shots of vodka. So this is gonna get us a little f***ed up.
A larger drink. A lager? A lager drink. All right. And then this whole thing.
Not this whole thing.
Well, we got to make it yellow. Oh, it is turning yellow. So this is a 2-dose potion.
No, give me more than that. Patience.
There's
young
2 of
Jedi,
us.
Patience.
We're each getting 1 dose.
I get knocked down. I get up again.
So we're here for episode 99. We've done this. This is our 3rd time doing this, by the way. If you're new to XP Waste, because I don't think we have that in the recording. We haven't said, hey, if you're new around here, welcome.
Yes, we do.
We do? Okay.
It's
cool.
in the very beginning because Michael tried to redo the episode or redo the intro, and I said, nah, f it, we'll do it live, and we're just raw dogging it from here because we don't care. We'll just
Pop her off.
add a little
Now
bit
it's a
more.
proper 4
But
dose.
wait. Get the actual juice of a fucking lemon in there. Tiki, our resident bartender, is probably having a fucking fit right now watching this. Because nothing is to portion, and we do not give a shit. But look at that, we're just fucking mixing it all together. When it's for one drink, it's fine. But when it's for a big mass,
Yeah, you probably hold it.
that's one thing. All right, so we've got our brew. It's going to be citrusy. That's for sure. It's going to be citrusy. And probably really fucking alcoholic. But now...
Oh, yeah, we're going to make the... can I make the restart?
You absolutely can. And as the guest, you can even pop open the champagne. Because while thinking of something to make for the restore, we kept going back and forth and we're like, fuck it, let's just make mimosas. So we're having this mega liquor alcoholic drink. And then mimosas are going along with it.
It is like kind of brunch on a weekend. One in the ceiling, yeah.
To fucking point it the other way, you fucking mumpty. Man said, hey, if I aim this at your head, is it going to hit the ceiling? So what we got here? We got a little bit of Prosecco.
Oh. Now we definitely need those.
All around me are familiar
I'll be back.
faces. Stream ends when Michael destroys Oxie's computer with the cork. Michael, why are we surprised by that? Jazz hands over the lemon. Oh boy. So we couldn't decide what drink to pick because of the different colors of pinkness. You know what I'm saying? So we've got this strawberry kiwi drink. Which, hey, I'm giving them the example of why they're different colors.
Oh, I see.
So that's what this one looks like, right? It's kind of pink. And then we've got this other watermelon one over here. So it's going to be very fruity, just like me. You see the difference in the color there. We probably got to yeet the champagne into that. That is Sarah Brew color.
I mean, Super Restore?
That is... I said what I said. Now, just fucking tilt that glass a little bit. Tilt it so it runs down the side. Oh, yeah.
That was all the juice in there?
No. You don't want it to, like, do that, because then it will foam. This man's never poured a beer in his life.
Never poured a beer. I'm, never drank alcohol in my life. Okay, Tiki. If you guys remember from last episode, Tiki said that he would want to start a podcast about tiki drinks and
Board games?
Board games. And he's having a fit in the chat right now. That I'll have to come to the meetup just to teach you about cocktails. This is ridiculous.
We're not done. Oh, God, there's water everywhere. Getting some fucking berries in there. It.
Right,
all the berries.
All of the stuff that we're not. This is great. Ooh. Okay, so we do know that there is not actual fruit in a Super Restore, but we wanted it.
Don't give a fuck. All right. Chunky brews and restores. What a horrible description. So here we have it. Look at this. Look at this. We definitely have it right here, boys. Ugh. All right, hold up the brew. We're taking our thumbnail picture right now. Hold on. Look at that.
Hold on, let me move
mid episode.
Okay.
Stupid.
It's so dumb.
So, first thing you drink normally is brew.
That's real citrusy.
Oh yeah, that's a citrusy right there. Let's go, baby. Like freshman college girls who want to have brunch but have limited funds and access to alcohol. Hey, Tiki, if you could do me a favor and shut the fuck up, that'd be great.
All right, let's get into the questions here.
I'll pour us drinks, you get us the questions.
Okay.
99 is underway, folks.
Yeah, so we asked you guys a while ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, to submit questions to us via a Google form. And I mean, if you want to, you can throw out a question in the XP-Ways chat, or I guess in the Twitch chat if you're there. And we'll try and answer those. But we do have quite an extensive list of actual questions from our Google form, like our Google, what is that, like a survey? I guess it's a survey. We have responses from that. So we'll be going down the list, getting more and more turned as we go. So,
and the best part is, it's currently 1:03 in the afternoon.
1 o'clock in the afternoon. And we have a tentative time limit, but there's really no limit to this.
Yeah. So
there's no limit to the debauchery that can happen.
Here's to 99. GZ to you, my friend.
GZ.
Oh, that is just liquor. That's not too bad.
Oh,
that's like a lemon
that's
drop.
like lemon vodka.
That's truly not that bad. I don't hate that.
We'll see. Oh my. I'm hoping that restore's a little better.
Oh, the restore's gonna be great. That's like a lemon.
Finisher.
That's like a lemon head right there. That is.
All right.
So median just says it tasted like lemon vodka. No way. I'm gonna refer you to the same place I referred Tiki, which is shut the fuck up. Okay. How's that sound?
So first question, these are in no particular order. Actually, they may be the order in which they came in.
We don't know.
If we're being honest,
we don't care.
So Mead Chugger here, 1586 total. What would you have done different now that you're maxed? I mean, the journey to max, like scaling, etc. As now, you are wise and older than you were before. Wiser and older than you were before. So I'm assuming this applies to me.
So when I maxed, I was thinking,
but no. So I think that I would have gone and done the big 3 a lot sooner. As far as when I was in college, I had a my wife bought, it's called a silent mouse, and it made no click whatsoever. So I could have, in class, I could have been rune crafting the entire time, but I straight up chose to cook karambwans because cooking go burr, I guess. Zaya rune crafting existed, potentially. I think. I know ZMI definitely existed. So like there was a way, I mean, I could have gotten 99 rune crafting or at least 99 mining. So if I could go back, I would have loved to just like knocked out the big 3 a lot sooner and potentially even like had a plan to max. Because like I didn't actually plan to max my account seriously until like 2021. At that point, I was going for the diary cape, which I was kind of close to. So I was going for the diary cape, and then after the diary cape, I'm like, I could do this. Like I can max my account. So it wasn't on the forefront of my mind to like put any effort into maxing my skills, because at that point I thought I don't play enough. I don't have enough time to do this, but I did, and I did it. So yeah, I would have just tried sooner. Any other, like, apart from the big 3, there was no other order in which I think is more optimal. Like, you do rune crafting, agility, and mining. Do which one you hate first, so that way it's done. And then and then the other skills have no order to me. Like there's no other order in which that it could have been better or worse.
Okay.
So,
remember that?
Can we put more sweet stuff in it?
Like what?
The simple syrup?
Dog, I don't think simple syrup's gonna help this. I think we need like lemonade or something.
We'll try it.
Oh. Oh my god, some guy on my Twitch chat wants to offer a promotion to my channel.
Whoa, the price is
Bitch.
lower than any other competitor.
That's crazy, bro.
Try more liquor.
What do we have? We have some various juices that are gonna make it not yellow anymore. We have limoncello, absolute vodka, lemons, and simple syrup.
We have to finish this whole brew before we get to the restore.
I mean, technically it's 3-1, so we could drink most and then just go like get other glasses or decant it back into the fucking thing. We'll save it for people tonight.
What if we poured it back in and then poured some water in there?
Water, some kind of bitch. We should have just bought lemonade. We should have just bought lemonade. We should have bought lemon. I don't know why we didn't think of that.
Maybe not put 16 lemon slices in there.
It's for garnish and flavor, okay?
Champagne is your best bet? Okay. We'll try that.
Yeah, we're mixing it right now because some idiot made this mega alcohol. We're just adding more alcohol to
That's
it. Like,
still.
we're not even.
That's still. What about sugar? I don't know. Okay, so next question, or do you want to add to any of that?
I mean, just get your quest cape at 1564 total level. Like,
oh yeah, I would consider.
I would push, like, if you're 1564, just push getting your quest cape, because maxing is a really, really, really long way away, and I would think that if you only focus on maxing from like the mid 1500s, you're kind of gonna get stunted in. You motherfucker, what are you doing?
Check. Okay, we're back.
You fucking mumpty. It's an enhanced pot now. Tyler said it's like we just put the crystal dust in it or something. 10 minutes for 51 questions. Fuck off, TMD. Get your quest cape. That's the best advice I can have. Get your quest cape, get your fire cape, do all the steps, and then I think once you realistically have the diary cape or are pushing for the diary cape, then maybe like knock out the big 3 for maxing.
You know what I just realized? Like we're streaming in the okay. So if you guys didn't know, listening to this post, us posting it after us posting it, we're actually streaming on Twitch right now. Hi Twitch. We're streaming on Twitch right now, and we have like 40 something viewers. So like we're near
all the people in the recording.
We're near
chat.
We're near the top of the old school RuneScape streaming category.
No,
so
we're probably like in the middle.
Bro, 48? That's
That's
near the top.
I'm not
So,
too fussed about
hi.
it. What's the next question? Yeah, if you're
If you're-
fucking watching for no reason, what's up?
check out X2A's podcast.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm just
You
saying.
should, what's the next question?
Okay. This one is from KLVTZ Kvilts. They say everyone's account is deleted. Everyone has to start over. What would be your goals for your new account? And if you did have goals, and would you even still play?
If everything got wiped out,
New servers,
if my
everybody
main
has to
account
start over.
got wiped out, if my Iron Man got wiped out, that'd be really tough. Because, I mean, I think if you asked me this question 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, whatever it is, if you asked me this question without the community I have now, I just don't play anymore. You know, like I don't want to. So there came a period of time where when I first started this game on mobile, I linked my account with Game Center, and like, because that's like what I signed in on.
Dang.
Because I didn't know what to do. I just did like Game Center on Apple, and then I like attached an email to it, and I was worried that like I wouldn't be able to sign in on my computer, and I would only be able to play on mobile because of Game Center. And I genuinely thought to myself, if I have to start this account over, I don't know if I'm gonna play. I had like 400 total level, so I wasn't like super far into the game. But you know, in 2019, 2020, I probably just wouldn't have come back. But now at this point in 2023,
Yeah,
with
that's
everyone
a good
who's
point.
in the community and all the friends I have made that are like, at this point, friends beyond RuneScape, it would be really hard to like not come back, because that's in the first place kind of what kept us all together. And as you guys know, with like your own set of like RuneScape friends, it's kind of what keeps you together for a while too. Like, we always joke like, oh, we're a Minecraft podcast, we're a Halo podcast, but like those fads last for like a week or two, maybe a month at most. But it's always back to RuneScape. So I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't be nearly as motivated to like go back and make content and like, I'm gonna get the first Infernal Cape on the new servers. Like, I don't know if I would care that much, you know, especially if it all just started from day one again. Like, it would also be really hard. Like, if my account got deleted, it would it'd be like burning a photo album. It'd be like really weird, because like all the memories you have on the account, all the items you got in one way or another are gone.
Right.
It would be a very weird, very surreal experience. So I don't know what I would do, frankly, but
I don't know. I think for me, I would really have to sit down and consider, like, do I want to put another nearly 7,000 hours into this account? Because I looked up my time played, and it's getting close to 7,000 hours. And there is an obvious like nostalgic feeling of like everybody starting over. You would essentially day one, you would spawn in, and like all you would see is just people running from the spawn in Lumbridge, and there would just be a wave of people going to complete like Waterfall, and like it would kind of be a second coming of old school RuneScape in a sense. Like if you were there for day one and you missed out, or sorry, if you missed out from being there on day one, you could come back. But it would be essentially like, for me, I think I would try it. I would be devastated, number one, because you're absolutely right. Like my max cape, my max account, all my pets, like I can't have my 1KC Bloodhound anymore. There's a very slim chance that I get that back. So, you know, the whole idea of RuneScape would drastically change for me. And I think it's kind of like why we didn't play Fresh Start Worlds, you know? Like, just the idea of starting over wasn't that appealing.
Yeah.
But for me, I probably would play for a little while. And that, if I'm being quite honest, I probably would quit again. Unless the community that we have was the glue holding me to the game.
Even then, when at that point, every single person in the community also doesn't have an account. And the question is like, you know, what people have brought up, like, oh, there's the real game, there's OSRS, there's Fresh Start, there's leagues. I mean, like, if it was just like a blanket Fresh Start world, I still think you lose the nostalgia, because everyone knows how to play the game. Like, everyone rushes to go do Waterfall quests. Everyone rushes to do this. It's not like, you know, you're killing goblins in Lumbridge, talking to the people around you. Like, you know, unless people are doing that on purpose. But like, I don't know. I feel like it would fade pretty quickly. But the question, I suppose this is a bit of an existential question or crisis for a lot of RuneScape players. If not RuneScape, then what? And everyone always has their immediate
Oh,
answer.
true.
It'd be Minecraft. It would be Halo. It would be, it'd be Jurassic World Evolution. It'd be Civilization. It would be prehistoric, whatever. It would be all sorts of like other games that we play together. But in reality, like, how many times have I said, like, you see my setup, you're here, I have it, you've seen my Halo tattoo in person. I have not loaded up Infinite in a long time.
Right.
I'll start new Minecraft worlds that I'll play on for 3 days, and then I just like won't touch them again. So like, what, if not RuneScape, then what? And I think that kind of kills it, because a lot of people in the recording booth chat are saying like, I have nothing else to play, or I have a lot of things to play, but I feel like nothing has quite the same hold. And I feel like at that point, we're all traumatized by MMOs. So even like, oh, let's go to World of Warcraft, like that would be really hard
It would
to
be
go to World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it would be like learning a new language.
Well, I feel like it would be like, you have a really bad situation with a relationship, and you get traumatized by an ex, and then the new
Oh.
person that comes around, you're like, like that's because like World of Warcraft isn't RuneScape. In theory, it wouldn't get deleted, but like,
yeah,
that'd be tough. That'd be really tough. Why we got this fucking crisis of a question in the second one? I couldn't tell you.
Second question.
But like, power start, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think I would play, and there are like pros. You would be able to experience all of the content on the same level as everybody else. There would be the sweaty nerds who are on, or they're at 2B day 3, right? But like most of the player base, items would be cracked.
And the player base
The prices of items would be cracked.
The player base would crumble. Like, it's not. I feel like because.
Am I looking at
have a
it too
stable
optimistically?
Yeah. I think it's a little bit way too optimistic, because it's not like, like, oh man, like we're gonna like sell a whip for 10 mil. Nobody has a whip. Nobody's gonna get a whip for like months.
True.
Because like it just takes that long to get to.
Yeah.
But I think without that aspect of the economy, it would also just not be as fun. But
true. All right, next question.
Thank God. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question, Klutz, or whoever asked. Kviltz.
KLVTZ.
KLVTZ. Yeah.
All right. Mason said, I have close to 2050 total, which I think is pretty good, but I don't have much money considering I only have 500 Zolar kills, the quest cape, 300 Vorkath kills. Meanwhile, people with half my level have max gear. My question is, how do you think most people are making money for items more than 20 mil? Luck on big drops like Tebow or splits? Tebow splits or skilling? How about your experience? Thanks. Love a show. Hunter Guild win?
Hunter Guild soon, hopefully. I mean, in my experience, there's 3 different ways normally. There's the big money drops, like you get a Tebow split, you get a Scythe split, you get a Shadow split. That is like life changing. And especially with something like TOA, if you get a Shadow, sell the Shadow and buy everything else. So that's a possibility.
Somebody in Twitch chat said credit card.
Yeah, there is buying it. Like credit card is not.
Sparta,
That's another one. Where you truly can buy bonds or even RWT.
Saptera, not Sparta. Saptera is. I'm gonna call you out because I know who you are. Saptera said credit card.
I don't know who Saptera is.
I don't know.
But no. And the third way is a gift from other people. Like, I will admit that some of my, stuff that I have in the game, like Michael gave me my Avernic Defender. An old friend of ours, Link, gave me my Dexterous Prayer Scroll, as turbulent as that experience was. I won a BCP from Scape, and I've since done rebuilds where I've rebuilt, 5, 6, 700 mil worth of gear. And like, I've done the work to get the gold to have what I have. But like, gifts certainly do help. Back when, when mod pay was a thing, it was a Duel Arena Go Burr. Yeah, TMD. That was back in the day. Now, some median says transferring from RS3. It's possible,
True.
But yeah, if you're looking for the best moneymaker is consistency.
True.
Because even if you're just consistently doing a skill that makes you money, like, I think the Motherlode Mine money making method is ridiculous, because you could earn 500 mil in 20 minutes at TOB with a Scythe drop. I mean, granted, it has to be FFA, but there's that element of it. But like, if you really go from 1 to 99 trying to max, probably making a lot of money in RuneKnight after a little while.
True.
You're probably making decent money if you're doing like, I don't know. I don't even know what other money making methods there are for skilling that don't make you want to die and are really slow. But
right, that's the thing. And like, if you look at skilling overall, it's not a great moneymaker, because usually it's a very slow I don't call it a slow burn, but you see the results of your work at the very end versus, when you're actually in it, it doesn't feel like you're making money. That also could be said for like raids. You could go 75
Trust
raids.
me, you can go a lot of raids without making
You
money.
you could go 70
Let me tell you, you can go a lot of raids without making money.
75 raids dry and not see a single thing. And then you go your 76, then it's a light bearer at TOB or TOA.
Well,
So, it really I hate to say this, but it comes down to RNG in most cases with like big money. Now, Muspa, Vorkath, Zulrah, those are going to be your consistent money makers, which at the end of the day, Oxie said it, consistency. It's really about consistency. If you can sit there and say, I'm going to do 10 hours of Zulrah, you've got yourself like, what, 30, 40 mil potentially?
yeah,
That's enough to start flipping with.
What I have found is pick a number. Whether it's 750, whether it's 1,000, whether it's 2,000, pick a number that's not going to burn you out super quick and get to that kill count. My goal for the year is 1,000 Vorkath. I'm at like 700 something, 800 something.
Yeah.
So like 200 kills is going to make me a decent amount of money, I don't really have a goal for Hydra. Just do it because I think it's fun. But I'll probably get to maybe 1,000 by the end of the year. If I shoot for 1,000, I'd probably get that. So pick a number for a KC for a boss that makes you money. 200 corrupted gauntlet. 500 Muspa. Just see what happens.
That's true. Yeah, there are money making methods that you can. Like, I mean, this is the old days, but like you could go to the duel arena and just double your bank in 3 seconds. But it was an
Can't do that
absolute
anymore.
risk. So, yeah, money making is hard. For me, I think I've told this on the show. Maybe I've told it in small circles, but essentially, the money I have is from an old account that my friend used to play on. It was his account it was my account, but like he was playing on it, and he did a lot of stuff. Like he did a ton of raids. He did all this stuff, and he got banned because he was botting. RIP. So it was my account, and so 4 years later, after he got banned for botting on my account, his account, our account, after 4 years, I appealed it and I got the account unbanned. And it had like over $1 bill worth of items on it. And I asked him, like, do you want this back? Like, this was your money. He said, no, you can keep it. So for me, I went from having a 300 mil bank to a 1.3 bill bank overnight. And that kind of jump started my account, but like that's not always going to happen. That's that's the equivalent of getting a solo shadow.
Yeah. TMD in our Twitch chat just said, but also like 1,000 hours of Zulrah is equivalent to get a T-bow. I mean, doing Zulrah for 1,000 hours isn't really feasible because that's like tens of thousands of kills.
Yep.
What or how you make that progression is if you say, all right, I'm doing a 1,000 KC, I pick a number, I'm doing 1,000 KC of Zulrah, you get that kind of money and you move into other pieces of content. Maybe you buy yourself a gear upgrade, maybe you buy a Fang and you can start doing TOA, and then you get a Fang as a drop, and then suddenly 1,000 kills at Zulrah is made back in immediately one raid at TOA, and then you use that to buy other pieces and things like that. So it just slowly progresses until you get, the gear. And if you do that slow but consistent progression, not only does the gear come, but the knowledge and the game ability, the gameplay comes along with it. So you can start asking people to take you to CMs and take you to TOB and, take you on 400 level raids, and you start getting more money because unfortunately it's, the big drops, he said, he followed up with the big drops is how you really make the money. But, you have to get there not slowly, but like you can't just get there overnight if you're only skilling, you have to do the content that gives the big drops. But
if you don't want to rely on big money, my advice is plan out your max and grind, or even plan out like your goals around money making skills, because you could essentially fund maxing an account without ever really doing any sort of raids or PVM. There are plenty of money making skills that can fund the Bible skills. You may need a little bit extra. I'm not going to be naive and say construction is cheap, but if you did 99 runecrafting with bloods and souls, like that's a couple $100 mil. and that could fund prayer and construction. So, like, you can fund your account pretty much solo. I mean, Iron Men do it all the freaking time, but they have to put in the work. They put in the work.
I mean, also, if money is relative to everyone on Earth, like, you could buy bonds.
True.
Don't RWT and be a piece of shit and hurt the game, but, like, you could buy bonds if money is not really an object, or, like, you spend money on your hobbies anyway, because more or less RuneScape is just a hobby, but, you know.
Yeah.
Money making fun. What do we got next?
Listen, to cap this off, you could spend $60 buying a AAA game, or you could spend $60 getting 10 bonds, and that's 60 mil. So, I don't know. That 60 mil could go a long way in funding a lot of things you want to do.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. All right, next question is actually from TMD. The TMD says, "What is the best amount of snow to have on the ground on Christmas?" This is for our resident northerner.
I made this joke with Michael last night. Probably about 8 inches, like that.
8 inches.
No, but like I think the best amount of snow to have on Christmas, like it's got to be fresh snow. Like the best snow for Christmas, it snows on Christmas Eve, and you get a good, I'd say 3 to 5 inches, because as much like I love the winter aesthetic, right? It's beautiful. I love it here. I've lived in Michigan my entire life. I love the way winter looks. I don't like the way winter affects having to do anything out in public. So as fun as it would be, as beautiful as it would be to get 12 inches where, like, you know, where like the trees freeze over and like there's ice on all the little branches, like that would be fantastic. You know, Tiki in the recording booth chat says enough to force people not to go to work. That's all fine, well and good. But on Christmas Day, right? On Christmas Day, you're generally going to families. You're going to like other people's houses. People are coming to you. And what I would hate to have happen is you get an 8, a 9, a 10, a 12-inch snowstorm, right? And nobody can show up to your house because there's too much snow on the ground. I think 3 to 5 is probably perfect as long as it snows on Christmas Eve. Because if it's like 3 to 5 inches like 4 days beforehand, it's gonna turn muddy. It's gonna be easier to drive in. But like if we look outside right now, which I can't turn the camera because I'm further away, like, you know, the snow looks kind of gross because there's like mud and shit all in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd say between 3 to 5 inches snowing on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. I can't comment because I live in Texas.
If it snows on Christmas, Michael's entire state's infrastructure shuts down and they go into a state of emergency.
It did snow on Christmas. Out of the 15 years I've been in Texas, it has snowed on Christmas once. And it was the most magical Christmas I've ever had in Texas. Usually, Christmas Day is, probably like 50 degrees if you're talking about like the most recent years in Texas. So very rarely has it ever gotten super cold on Christmas Day in the South.
Dropped to -6 this Christmas for me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was cold.
Okay, just checking in with the drinks. I'm only halfway through mine, and I can feel it behind my eyes.
Yeah, I'm like already drunk.
So
you know how brews reduce your combat stats? That's what I'm feeling right now.
I can already feel it. Oh my gosh. All right. Thanks, TMD, for that question. Next question. This, unfortunately, okay. I am going to take the L here. On the form that we posted, I didn't specify clearly that when I said put your username, it meant don't forget to add your username to the form submission. So there's some of these that don't have any names. So this is one of them. It says, do you guys think that OSRS Mobile will ever see the quality of life that players have? The quality of life update.
For like RuneLight?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but that's because they're trying to integrate it into their C++ client because people like RuneLight too much. They're working on improving the mobile client, but I mean, like, you're never gonna get like Prop Hunt, which is a new that plugin's been pretty popular lately. You're never gonna get like, Tob Mistake Tracker or the Tob QOL plugin that makes Zarpus go sheep. sheesh instead of screech when it gets to a certain percentage.
I love that.
You know, there's a lot of plugins on RuneLite you're just not going to get on mobile, but a lot of the a lot of your bread and butter plugins that we don't think about, jewelry charges, ground items, highlighted items with little fucking loot beams. Eventually, that will probably come to mobile because eventually Jagex will probably implement that into their Steam client. I mean, don't know.
It was teased at the Winter Summit that ground items and loot tracking was going to be coming to mobile.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of it's coming, but
Yeah, Grooch in the Twitch chat says ground loot and tile markers win. It's just a matter of time. I think they're really preoccupied with a lot of the updates that they're putting out. So Forestry, Desert Treasure 2, a new skill. They're very, very much preoccupied over at Jagex with a lot of things other than arguably what really matters. I think right now, if I had to look at the way I play, if there was ground items and actual tile marking, loot tracking would be cool, but it's not a game changer for me. But that, if there was ground items and actual tile markers, I could fully switch to mobile in most content.
But the problem for me is the RuneLite dock. So if you're playing on desktop, the RuneLite dock kind of extends out, whereas the mobile one just sort of overlaps your whole inventory for XP trackers. So unfortunately, mobile is just never going to be well enough optimized to run like RuneLite. So even if they add a loot tracking thing that tracks, what monsters you've killed and how much you've earned, it's going to interrupt gameplay because a lot of mobile is just not designed to it's not Windows. You can't adjust the size of RuneScape on your game unless they make it so your game takes up this much of your screen and then your tracker bit takes up this much, but then it's just smaller and compressed. And how does that work on older phones? You're playing on an old iPod or whatever with a new whatever, but then it translates to iPads better. I don't know. I think we're never going to see RuneLite for real on mobile, but I'm optimistic the changes they're going to make are going to make it better,
Yeah. All right, next question. Thank you for that question, whoever that was. We don't have your name. This one's from 10,000 Slugs. They said a lot of people were not happy with the EOC update. If RuneScape were to evolve the combat differently, how would they do it, and where would you be happy with the finished product? Quite honestly, I don't think they could have done it any differently. I mean, combat evolved into something that most MMOs have. Special attacks, special types of attacks, stuff on cooldowns. That's pretty stock standard for MMOs. Unless it went to actual turn-based combat where, your team is on one line, the other team is on another line, and you have 3 turns, like D&D style, you roll for initiative. I think, not that I'm saying that would be better, but that would be really the only, right off the dome, that would be the only different way that I think they could have evolved combat. I think they did it just fine. Yes, people were upset with EOC, but that's because most of the player base at that time were actual children who didn't understand the gravity of what they're doing. I've said it before, and it may have been on the podcast, but if EOC were to happen now, me as a 30-year-old man, I think that I could rationalize what is happening and not get upset about it. Because if we're talking about old school, they would have pulled it and they would have refined it and there would have been something that the player base could get behind versus having it be pushed on us after, is pushed on the player base without anybody consenting to it. A lot of people are flaming me right now in the Twitch and in the Twitch chat saying EOC did nothing wrong.
I mean,
Michael's drunk.
So here's the thing, right? I don't know about many other MMOs at the time.
That's the thing. Somebody said our drinks are getting warm. There's no ice in this.
Do you think ice is going to make these taste better?
Yeah. No. It's going to make it more palatable.
Anyways, I don't think EOC did nothing wrong, but I think the problem is a lot of other MMOs had, like you said, a cooldown based combat. So it's kind of Jagex's fault for being so late to the game. You know, it's not quite like it's more intense than the blowpipe nerf, obviously, but that's kind of the more recent example I can think of. Is we're changing this.
Are we done with brews right now?
I'm not having any more fucking brews. You know what? Yo, you coward! You come on. You gotta fucking.
Really? I'm a coward. I'm a coward. Are you just gonna chug it?
Oh,
that's
I'm
half
gonna try
a
not
cup.
to.
That's half a cup.
Oh, I really don't know if
that's
I
gonna
can.
send me over the edge. We're only 30 minutes into this right now.
I'm really brewed down, boys.
Okay,
my point is Jagex is a bit. Jagex is a...
Pick it up.
Pick it up.
Pick it up. Down it.
I don't know if I can do that.
I just swallowed a seed. I just swallowed a seed. I just swallowed a seed.
Oh my god.
Oh,
holy
thank
shit.
you, Soul Light, for the Prime sub.
Oh my
Soul
god.
Fright.
That is, we're gonna be fucked. We gotta fucking. I'll throw
Where's
up.
your water?
I can't do. My water's over here, dude. Whoo, boy.
All right, we're taking a water break, guys. We're taking a water break. It's gonna be like 6 more questions until we brew down.
Yeah, holy shit. We're just
until
gonna
we
brew down for a minute.
until we restore back.
Until we restore back up. Brew down. Haha. Shut up, Tiki. But no, Jagex was late in implementing a new combat system, especially if a lot of other MMOs did it. I mean, I don't think you're right.
Yeah.
I just don't think they went about it very well. They tried to hype it up too much and people didn't like it. And they were like, fuck them, it's coming anyway. I think had they approached it a little bit more community centric like they do now, it probably would have gone over a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah.
They probably wouldn't have old school, but they didn't do that. I mean, I don't agree with the way they did it. And I think that's part of the problem as to why EOC was such a bad update is because they're just like, hey, take this and fucking deal with it. And you are right. You know, a lot of the puking baby Yoda sent me. I never really considered, you know, a lot of people we talk to are early. They're in their 20s. A lot of the people we talk to are in their 20s, between 22 and probably 29, maybe 35 years old at like the max, more or less. You know, there are some outliers, but like not really, right? So you figure 10 or 11 years ago, if I was 26, I would have been what, 15? Yeah. I work with 12 to 17-year-olds right now. If they do something pretty efficiently, and then you introduce something that makes what they're currently doing exponentially more difficult, or at least a lot more confusing, you know? Like, if I gave my kids, if they're using like Windows Movie Maker or something, and I gave them Premiere Pro,
right,
they would throw a fit.
They're like, this is too efficient.
they don't like it. It's confusing. The
without
buttons are
any
in different
warning,
places, especially
like
with, if I just like deleted Windows Movie Maker and then put Premiere Pro on there, Premiere Pro might objectively be a better program to use, but nobody's going to want to use it. They're going to scream and cry and say, I want to go back to Movie Maker because I knew how to use that. I was so good at Movie Maker that you just ripped this out from under the rug. I didn't get a feature by feature update.
That's an actually good, like,
and they're also good analogy. 15, 16, 17 years old. Like, imagine that kind of formative part of your brain, you know, and I would have been, even if you're younger, right? Like, if, you know, people who are like 22 right now were what, 11 or 12 years old?
Yeah.
They had an older sibling who said, bro, EOC fucking sucks. We don't want that. And they're like, EOC fucking sucks, I guess.
Right.
And they just like didn't play, you know?
You're definitely influenced by the people around you. I never, like, I can't remember actually giving EOC a chance.
Ever. I was not around for EOC. So I started playing when I was a kid, and then I got back into it around like 2010, 2011. And I was like, oh my God, this is super cool. I was like a freshman in high school and it was awesome. And then I fell off, you know, like you do. And then I didn't come back until 2016 when I was already in college. So I missed the entire EOC storm. And I came back and I was so overwhelmed with RS3 because like they had Ashdale, there was a tool belt, nothing made sense. I always say I was shooting fire out of my ass because like I didn't understand what all the ability bars were, and I was like, this is kind of fun, but like Al-Kharid looks really weird now. Like it changed so much, and I didn't know what any of it was. So I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, and I fell off. And then Old School came out on mobile, and now here we are, pretty drunk at 1:40 on a Sunday, talking about Old School RuneScape.
So we do have a guest food appearance. I don't know, like we have a food coming up. We have to like take a pause and go make it.
Oh man,
did we forget about that?
I didn't forget, but like we don't have the pineapple cut. We're making pineapple pizza.
We're making pineapple pizza. So
I'm a little drunk for that. We'll see. Maybe we'll do that after. We'll add it to the vlog. Who knows?
Okay. Anyway,
who knows?
Somebody, it's like dog Glassy. I can't see it. They said, to be fair, EOC on release was nowhere near what it is now. So I guess that makes sense. Like they have updated what EOC is and what we see. So yes, it is very much different than. Thank you for the question, 10,000 slugs. Appreciate you. Moving on to Mima. He says,
"Oh God,
Oxie, when do you plan to actually get the? When do you actually plan to complete the Inferno?
When do I plan to actually complete the Inferno? I think he's referencing doing it with my Bofa and not a T-Bow. I mean, if I get a task, I'll send it. I'm not opposed to sending it. I don't like. So for those of you who have not been around and are not queued in, I got my Infernal Cape by borrowing like 1.2 bill worth of gear, which I only really justified by sending like 90 to 100 attempts in full crystal and like a Bofa and all that. And finally, my friends were like, I'm sick of this. Take everything. Like Jesse was maxing. He wasn't using it.
Right.
So he just gave me everything. Mortal gave me an Ellie. And I got it from there, but I don't think it was the gear loans at that point that got me the cape. I think the T-Bow helped significantly.
With your confidence?
No, because I had the confidence.
True.
I could 1 and 2 tick flick before I got the T-Bow. You know? And then I started using the metronome plugin, and like it just everything felt better, you know? So I think getting the bow and all the extra gear just really helped expedite the process a bit. I'll go for it eventually. I have to get my Slayer helm back. I can't wear my Slayer helm right now because I don't have all the Mustblood achievements done at the time we're recording.
Really?
So I can't wear my Jad helm yet, but hopefully soon I'll be able to wear it again because the achievements aren't hard. So yeah, I don't know. If I get a task, I'll go for it. But at the moment, I'm not really pushing for it. I do want to get a second cape by the end of the year, just so I can like say I have a second cape and like can do it twice. And like, there's a running joke in the Discord that I bought the cape, and I kind of just go with the joke at that point to with people.
Yeah,
I did not. I don't know what else I can do to prove that I didn't. So I'm very much like, yeah, whatever. I paid whatever price, just fucking with people in the chat. But you know, I don't think I would have cried if I bought the cape.
I'm so drunk right now.
Me too. I'm a little from that brew. I'm not gonna lie.
There's so much vodka.
Burma says just do it again. Honestly, I'm fucking trying, dude. I just gotta get a task. Yeah, that was
a lot of vodka.
Jesus fucking Christ. We're kind of drunk.
Oh,
so
I don't drink
here,
that
take
much.
my hand. You know what helps in times like this and long PVM trips? When you brew down so much that you don't have any stats left.
I can't. This is my restore. This is water. I'm gonna go grab those little crackers so I can just. No.
If you want to bring the crackers, that'd actually be fucking sick.
Okay, I'll be back.
Michael's gonna get some fucking crackers for us. We don't normally eat on the podcast. We're also not normally this fucking drunk on the podcast. I'm so excited for this super restore, boys. Hey, Shannon, you want to try some Sarah Doman brew? Some Sarah brew. Come on in here. No, it's a Sarah Doman brew. It's from RuneScape. It's what you hear me yell about all the time. You can just fucking raw dog it and take the cork off and try it.
It's basically vodka. This was full, by the way. Tastes like flesh.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Well,
Love it. All right, here's the crackers.
I'm a little bit more drunk than I thought. Jesus Christ.
Okay, what were you saying?
Next question, I think.
Next question. All right. Oh, there was a second part. Hold on.
This isn't still 10,000 slugs question, is it?
This is Mima's, remember?
Oh, it's Mima's
There's a
question,
second part to
right?
Mima's
My Inferno
question.
Cape, yeah.
It says, when do you actually plan to complete the Inferno? And then, what do you do to take your mind off video games or just OSR, sir?
What do I do to take my mind off OSRS? Literally anything else.
Like, you go to fencing.
The fencing helps a lot.
I have a baby and a wife,
Mm-hmm.
and we watch Bluey a lot.
Bluey, I've heard, is a fucking horrible emotional show. Like, it just, like, hits people like trucks. Because it's so, like, raw and real.
It's real.
And it's like a kid's show.
I think Bluey has a great effect on parents. And shout out all the parents out there who watch Bluey. It's the only kid show that we let our son watch. He's like 20 months right now, so he's almost 2. It's the only show that he consistently watches besides like Miss Rachel. And I think my wife has said like she will have it just be playing even after our son goes to bed. So like there's definitely a like the creators of Bluey are genius in the sense that they made a kid show that is 100% relatable to adults.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the secret sauce. Like I can't watch Cocomelon. It's unwatchable. There's so many kid shows that
just
are
the dancing
unwatchable.
fruit?
Yeah, like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is almost unwatchable. And the Bluey just did it different, man. Like they made it to where like parents can relate because Bandit and Chili are just great parents who Bandit just
the mom's name is Chili?
Yeah, Chili. They have like stereotypical dog names, which I think is hilarious. Like there's a dog name. There's a guy named Fido. It's like Bandit's friend. Bandit is the dad. Anyway, Bad Fizzle, Good Fizzle / any Fizzle. They said crackers won't save you. They will. Crackers are our savior right now.
Crackers aren't going to save me, but they're going to make me feel better. Because let me tell you, from the time between that last sip of brew and now, I don't even know what's real anymore. I'm trying to like phase in and out of consciousness. We're like browning out. We're pretty.
That was so much vodka. It was so much vodka.
I don't know if I'm gonna restore back up here for a little bit because Jesus Christ, we should have started with the restores.
I cannot touch it.
Or we should have just not made a drink that was only liquor.
Yeah. Anyway,
what's the next question? I don't know how we got. I don't even remember how we got on the topic of Bluey.
Things that distract you from video games.
Perfect.
Okay. This next question. This is a banger. All right. Mayalt says, how do you pronounce male?
Eat my dick. That's how I pronounce it. Oh God, he's here.
He's here.
He's in the chat.
Oh no.
Is it okay?
That's not how you pronounce it. Oh no.
Is it not male? Is it mealt? Has it been mealt this whole time?
Mealt.
Meilt?
So it's MEILT. Is it melt?
Bro, Mayo, you asked the worst.
It's definitely not eat my dick. Mail says in the
you asked
in
the
the
worst
chat.
time. I'm so sorry. It's not personal. Sorry, Mayo. It's not personal. I swear to God, I'm just really fucking drunk.
How do you pronounce milt? Okay. Can we get a confirmation in the chat once and for all? How do you pronounce your name? If you're I know you're in the chat right now, but like the viewers and the listeners want to know, how do you pronounce your name? Because we have been saying Mayalt, but that's just like, that's just like saying each letter phonetically, right? Anyway, we're moving on. Hey, this one's from Zulu. Zulu says, okay, this is an interesting one that I think that should be polled. Do you use your middle finger or your index finger for the scroll wheel on the middle mouse button? I use my middle finger, but apparently a lot of people don't.
Oh, Zulu, you're a fucking psychopath. I gotta be honest.
Right?
I use my index finger. I don't know how you like. That's like hyper efficiency right there.
Okay, so I when I read
wild.
this question, I actually tested it out.
Who says they use their ring finger? What the
ring finger? How do you use
Jake,
your
what the
ring finger? Okay, I use my pointer finger to scroll. That from the days of being in middle school on computers, like there wasn't ever a need to be like efficiently scrolling. You know what I mean? Like in RuneScape, scrolling in and out sometimes can be the difference between, content, like passing content or not. So like for me, I just learned to use my pointer finger. And I guess like he's an efficient RuneScape player, so like keeping your finger on the left click, but then using your middle finger.
I'm
to
watching
scroll?
the Twitch chat and the recording booth chat. You guys are fucking insane. I don't know how you guys are doing this.
Okay, Taco Dog says 3 fingers all the way. Index for the left, middle for the scroll, and then ring finger for the right click? What?
I'm gonna go get some pretzels. How's that sound?
Okay, Oxie will be right back.
Not a good idea.
Oh, the crackers are gone. The crackers are gone. Oh, no. Okay, I guess I have to carry the show while Oxie is gone. I definitely use my pointer finger. And I tried it, like, whenever I read this question, I tried it with my ring finger, and it felt unnatural. Just like the position of the finger on the scroll wheel was odd. He's back.
I'm significantly more drunk than I wanted to be at this moment.
It's gonna be like 2 hours from now when we get into the brew or the restore, because like
I ain't never getting into the restore this episode, dude. Oh, it's that fucking gal from Instagram who's messaging me again. Like, I know who she is, but I'm not gonna say who she is.
We just got drunk off the first drink.
The first drink was vodka,
Literally
limoncello, and lemon slices.
Hold on. Okay, just for reference, this was full. We just downed a half a bottle of vodka.
And limoncello. How much is the limoncello gone?
There's half a bottle of limoncello. Does that have alcohol in it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, no.
That's half gone.
Oh,
and we added champagne for some reason. So, who said get this man behind the wheel?
Stop it.
I'm out of here.
Stop it.
No, Fizzle. We're not doing shots. We're not Arionics. We don't fall for that easily.
No, please no. We may have to take a snack break.
So I apologize for all the chewing in this episode.
Thank you, Zulu, for that question.
Thank you. Yeah. You're like I said, psychopath, but thank you.
Maybe we should cook up that pineapple pizza.
God damn.
Oh, man.
All right, what's the next question?
5 gifted if you take a shot.
No, I'm not taking a shot.
No. 50 gifted if you both take a shot. Damn, that's a lot of money.
So immediate, you're full of shit.
Are you on Tinder right now?
No, I'm on Bumble.
All right, next question is from Okie. They say, you're entered into a challenge where you have to cook a dish that represents RuneScape in some way. You have the ability to refine your recipe as much as you want beforehand, and a team to help you theory craft it. What do you cook, and what would it look like, and why? So
you mix
A RuneScape themed
If
dish.
you mix absolute vodka, cavalla limoncello, some simple syrup, and some lemon juice, you get a Sarah brew. No, don't do that. Don't do that. A RuneScape dish. I mean, the most accessible thing is probably swordfish and lobster.
Ooh.
So what I'm thinking is I would go maybe a little, maybe a little seafood themed dish, right? Because if you look at, there's not a lot of vegetables in cooking. There's potatoes, there's onions, there's cabbages. But at most, they're only really used in stews. So I'm thinking, you get a good swordfish steak, right? You get a little nice calamari appetizer, right? Maybe like a fried calamari with some nice, garlic aioli sauce or something like that. You get a well-seasoned, swordfish steak. I personally am partial.
A swordfish steak?
Mm-hmm.
That's a
you
thing?
ever had a swordfish steak?
No.
Oh my God, they're so good. If you don't have swordfish, you can do tuna, but tuna you got to cook really quick. It's like 1 minute on one side, 1 minute on the next side. Pull that bitch off. It's done for tuna steaks. Swordfish, something similar, right? I like a nice lemon garlic sauce for that. Lemon garlic butter oil. Put some fucking capers in there. Not the clan mom, the little tiny olive thing. Put some capers in there for a little bit of nice extra little zing, extra little flavor. So you got cromboin to start, more or less, with the calamari, the swordfish steak. If you had a better way to make potions, that's probably not a bad idea. But unfortunately, you really don't. So, I mean, depending on how you're doing it, you'd probably want to go with a wine of Zamarok and do a nice... I mean, so white wine works better with fish, always. But I feel like all wine in RuneScape is red wine.
Yeah.
So maybe you could do a nice, like, white wine, but like a dry white wine. Because I feel like Zamarok... There's no way Zamarok has sweet wine, right? Like, if it was red wine, you have to go with, like, a Malbec or a Cab. But for white wine, you have to go with, like, a Chardonnay or a Pinot or something, right? Surely. So that's what I do with that. And then for dessert, chocolate cake.
Ooh.
Chocolate cake, sure. Just a whole fucking chocolate cake. But the whole thing right in front of someone. So that's my 3-course RuneScape meal that I would do. That I could feasibly cook myself. And I can't bake for shit. So who knows?
I had no idea that you could make a swordfish steak.
Oh.
That's incredible. I think mine would be a lot more simple.
Yeah?
I'm just going to make a nice, like a gourmet baked potato with some tuna on top.
Oh, the tuna and cheese baked potato.
The tuna and cheese potato. Yep.
Go to Bandos, get some chili potatoes in there.
Oh,
Loki, hold up. If you dedicate the time to make a whole chili and just put over like a potato that you kind of like cross section out, that could be good as
the chili potato with some nicely fresh grated cheese.
I don't think it'd be good right now, as drunk as I am. Like
I mean, the question wasn't whether or not you're drinking.
It'll be really good. Just fucking cheese potato.
No.
Like just a big old baked
Potato with some dried cheese?
No, not it's like melted because it's hot, right? A baked potato, a little bit of salt, a little bit of hot sauce, some cheese on that bitch.
Kiss.
That would be fucking ideal, especially right now.
Thank you, Oakley. Oakley? I think that's your name.
I'm not gonna remember this.
All right. Young Mac says. Young Mac says, Oxie! All caps. No child ever grows up of dreaming of being in the therapy space. What did you want to be when you grew? Hold on. We're starting that over.
I'm leaving it in.
Oxie. No child ever grows up of being in the therapy space. What did you want to be growing up? Same question for Michael. No one grows up wanting to be running a fruit stand and do email support. So what did you want to be when you grew up? That's an actual skull.
I wanted to be a paleontologist when I grew up. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a paleontologist for a while. And then when I got older, I realized that might not be feasible and also really fucking boring. So I went to zoology my freshman year because it's animals enough. It was between zoology and marine biology. But when I was a freshman in college, I kind of picked zoology. And then as I moved through high school, zoology kind of not freshman in college, freshman in high school. I don't know if I said that. Then as I moved through high school, I kind of got further into zoology. Was really into it. And then when I got to college, I did it for the first year. I joined the zoology club. I was all about it. And then I discovered neuroscience.
Hold on. I gotta talk this. Oxie, when he grows up, like he is still a child.
That's fair enough. Honestly, that's fair enough. No, but I did zoology my freshman year at college, and I was talking to one of my classmates from, I want to say it was bio or chemistry. No, it was chemistry, because I had chemistry my freshman year. I was talking to one of my classmates in chemistry, and we were talking about what major we had, and she said she was neuroscience. I was like, yo, no shot. What is neuroscience? And I looked into it, and I tell you, I changed my major that week because I was so interested in neuroscience. I dropped zoology entirely. And then it became pre-med, pre-PA, and then I discovered my little therapy peer group, and then here I am as a licensed therapist in the state of Michigan. But no, I originally wanted to be a paleontologist. My grandma thought I should have been a chef because I liked to cook so much as a kid. Are you good, homeboy? Did you just fucking sip the lemon while I wasn't paying attention? Are you good? You good?
"12 seconds later."
Dog, I think he's broken. Hey, who is this? Hank is cool. F off. I'm not taking a shot at Restore.
I'm not getting touched for a while. I'm remembering now. I'm a very giggly drunk.
Jesus Christ. We're never going to get through this episode. Stop laughing.
What you were saying?
Here. I won't look at you. Finish your thought.
What you were saying wasn't funny at all. But like, I drink that brew way too quickly.
We drank that brew over the course of an hour.
Just now an hour. We shouldn't have chugged that last bit.
We really shouldn't have.
We should not have chugged that last bit. Okay. I'm going to keep it together.
This is so much better.
Stop. Don't drink that.
This is so
Do not
much
drink
better.
that.
Holy shit.
Do not drink that. Hold on. Woo.
We should have started with
We should have started with that. Okay, sorry. Continue. We're talking about being a paleontologist. I think.
Yep.
Woo. As we may have to actually take a break and sober up a little bit before the second half.
Okay, we ball.
Oh. Woo. I'm a very giggly drunk. I'm just saying. Oh. People are just being way too encouraging here. Keep it going. Keep it going. I'm going to eat some pretzels.
Next question.
I didn't even answer.
I thought they asked me what my childhood.
No,
Oh,
they
is it
said
for you
Michael too.
Oh.
They said Michael too.
Okay. I don't even remember. It was Young Mac, right?
Young Mac. Okay. So when I was growing up, for some reason, I wanted to be a mechanic because I thought like working on cars was cool. I would work on cars with my dad. He had a very old Mercedes. And I was like, hey, that'd be really cool if I could, learn how to work on cars and be super efficient at like diagnosing problems. So I thought I want to be a mechanic, but like past that, I never really had a dream of like what I wanted to do. As a kid, I wanted to be a mechanic and that was it. And then at some point it shifted to, well, I don't know what I'm passionate about. I mean, like growing up, I played RuneScape, so it wasn't even like, oh, I want to be a streamer. My biggest goal when I hit my like late teens was to work at Apple because I thought they were the coolest company. They were like the big retail tech company, and I did work for Apple. I worked for Apple for like 4 years, and it was a great time. But like looking back at the end of the day, like it's still retail. It's still working in retail,
Mhm.
which is not all it's not all it's cracked up to be, you know? Like your busy season is from November, late November till January. And shout out to everybody who works for in retail. Like you guys are the backbone of the American society, because without retail workers, you know, we wouldn't have like the Christmas rush, we wouldn't have Black Friday, we wouldn't have everything that we have now. And like one day, if I'm being completely honest, one day everything's just gonna be replaced with robots. But for right now, like there's actual retail workers, which is great. So, like I didn't grow up saying I want to work in customer support. That was not. It's not the end all be all for my career. Ultimately, I like helping people.
Me too.
So it's like if other people are at the core of what I'm doing, no matter if it's in like support or customer success or like managing a team and being the best manager out there, I think that that's ultimately what I want to do. So Smediant says in the Twitch chat, Michael has just described the horrors of modern capitalism.
Look at me. Don't get me down this trail.
Moving on.
I've been following Richard Wolff on TikTok, who's a Marxist capitalist.
Oh,
We're
gosh.
doomed. We're doomed.
Chad McSquill says, what is your favorite nostalgic memory of RuneScape?
You know, I always say that, like, everyone talks about nostalgia as, like, when they were a kid, like, trading lobsters and, like, you know, killing goblins and shit like that. That stuff is definitely a core to me, and, like, you know, that stuff feels like a lot of fun when I'm in a setting with people who have never played the game, or, like, we're in a new league. But frankly, for me, the most nostalgic parts of RuneScape are going to be my first fire cape that I got in 2020, my first quest cape that I got on my birthday in 2020,
Nice.
my first Zulrah kill that I got after that. You know, my most nostalgic moments aren't going to come from when I were a kid. They're going to come from when I was like in graduate school getting a master's degree in old school RuneScape. Not the degree wasn't an old school RuneScape, but you know, you get my point. It might as well have been at this point.
Please don't.
With all the fucking game knowledge I have. But in any case, like a lot of my most nostalgic points are from things that have happened within the last 4 or 5 years. You know, one of the most nostalgic spots for me in the game is Thugs in the Edgeville Wilderness. For no other reason that when I was a streamer, before I even met Michael, like way back in the day, I would spend hours killing thugs in the wilderness with a Ring of Wealth on because they have a 1 in 64 chance to drop an easy clue. And I loved doing easy clues.
Nice.
If you look me up on the high scores, you can find that I have hundreds of easy clues done. Not because I'm going for an item, because I genuinely enjoyed doing the content. And whenever I have to pass through that area, I think, man, the shit I did, like there was one time I'm like, dude, I gotta train range down here. And I brought like an adamant crossbow and snake skin, or like a mithril crossbow or something. I remember one time I got PK'd down there with like 1,000 law runes.
Mm-hmm.
And like just things like that like I spent so much time there. There's a girl I met on Bumble several years ago at this point, before I met Michael. Her name was Haley. Hope you're doing well, Haley. And we would talk on Skype. This is before COVID, so it's not like it was normal, right? It was normal, but not like in the same sense. We would talk on Skype, and we would just sort of chat with each other, and she would slowly fall asleep, and the whole time I'd be at Thugs, looking for easy clues. Doing easy clues, stacking up caskets, just having a good time. So like that's a really nostalgic thing for me, is killing thugs in the wilderness by the Edgeville dungeon. I guess that's a good way to put it, you know, because a lot of like the big moments for me didn't happen when I was a kid. They happened when I was already an adult.
Gotcha. I think so. For me, this question is like, what's your most nostalgic memory of RuneScape? When I think back to my like early days, the pinnacle of like my RuneScape account was killing hill giants under the in that basement area
Mm-hmm.
near Varrock.
The little fucking was it like the brass key or something?
Yeah, getting the brass key and killing hill giants. Like that's where I trained most of my account.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was a member, but I didn't know about Slayer. I didn't know that like Slayer was the best way to play the game. Like looking back
Probably
now,
rock crabs back then would have been really good.
rock crabs were
Permanent
pretty.
province.
Yeah, rock crabs were pretty decent for AFK stuff. But like, I think on my RuneScape account, if I look back in RS3, I was probably like 60s or 70s, maybe in Slayer.
God, I was nowhere near that
Maybe
close, bro.
maybe 50s. So like it was never a serious thing where I was like ever going for like money making Slayer. Like I don't think were gargoyles in RS3? Or was that
Yeah.
okay, so like I
But
never got to gargoyles.
Their drop table was adjusted once RuneScape OSRS came out.
Okay. So I was never in like an efficient mindset when playing back in the day. So like for nostalgia's sake, it was the like if I look back now, it was the music because I always play with game sounds on.
Same. I will
It
say
was
the
the
music does hit me
music.
pretty hard sometimes.
Yep, it was music and it was killing hill giants and generally just like walking around Varrock being like a kid. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like asking girls if they want to get married in the Varrock church. And whether or not they were girls or not,
You should try that on your wife.
who knows?
Ask her if she wants to get married and renew your vows in the fair church. That's her 10-year anniversary
Oh
party
my
right
gosh, no.
there. At least she'll be like, "What the
Yeah. So like the nostalgic things are just simple. They're simple things. Like getting a rune scimitar, that's pretty nostalgic. That's pretty nostalgic for me. Getting rune armor, oh my gosh, like standing in Varrock West Bank, merching rune armor. I had a friend in as a callback. This was the same friend who like took over my account and got it
botted
banned
the shit out
and
of
got
it.
it bouted. But like he was ahead of his time when it comes to like playing RuneScape. If he didn't quit, this man could have been on the high scores for like a maxed account. He was like ahead of his time, way more thoughtful about RuneScape than I was. So he would make his money by merching rune sets in Varrock West Bank, and he actually taught me how to do it. It's kind of silly, and how people didn't notice, but like you would buy a full rune set for like 130k.
That's so much fucking money back then too.
And then
that's like a 10 mil item nowadays. It's
and
not,
then
but like
you would buy it for 130k, 135k, and then you would turn around in the same place and you would say selling full rune 140k, 145k. So you would literally buy it from people and then you would turn around and sell it for 10k, 20k more. And you just keep doing that over and over and over. And then you amass a fortune. And then you start getting into like rune trimmed. You would have your Saradomin trimmed. You had your Zamrock trimmed. Looking at people who had like full Sarah trimmed or full Zammy trimmed, those people were literal gods to me.
and
that
it still looks so good too.
It looks so good.
The Zammy rune looks so good nowadays.
Part of my fashion, like one piece of fashion shape that I have is full Sarah trimmed with the mythical max cape. It looks so good. And like eternal boots look so good.
So many cool things.
I think we need a water break.
I think we're doing fine. You can
You
keep
have
drinking
water?
water. You're fine. I got water. We're fine. What's the next question?
Let me finish chewing.
I'm not even waiting to finish chewing. This is gonna be such a bad episode for audio.
Next question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Savage Big Dad says, "Can we have an XP wait up? Can we have an XP waste meetup in game for those of us that aren't able to meet that weren't able to go to Texas in person. Some bar somewhere in game or somewhere else, the meetup to meet the XUA's kings and the fellow listeners.
I mean, we do that all the time. We just do it in VC. But as far as like going to a place in game, normally we're doing an activity. And that's kind of on Mike on us recently for not being in the voice chats as much as normal. But hopefully like we have events and things planned that will like get us in VCs.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, I have been doing things IRL and been a bit overwhelmed with the Discord to like join common VCs, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's on me personally for like myself not joining recently. But like, honest to God, you don't need an event to talk to us. Just fucking hang out with us in voice chat. Like, we're not celebrities, man. We're just guys who like to play RuneScape. Just like join Discord.
Yeah.
If you see us in there, like, unless we're in the mentoring chat in VC, just fucking join. I don't give a shit if you join while I'm doing TOB. Like, my teammates might, but I definitely don't.
Yeah, so if you want to meet us or meet up with other XP wasters, I think basically what Oxie is saying is like the Discord is the best way to do it.
Yeah,
Now,
especially if you're talking like an online one. Because like if you couldn't have made it to Texas, like there's literally always opportunities to talk to us. Like
Yeah.
just hang out and we'll hang out. And we've got to be better about like not being like mega anxious to join VCs. That's my problem. I'm like, oh, there's 8 people I don't recognize. I'm not going to join that chat.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, that's my Discord. I should join that chat. So-
Mail says, not sure if I want to join with the disrespect I get.
Dog.
You got to give us
You've got to give us an audio recording of
You
how
gotta
you
give us
say
a
your name. Because if it's not mailed, I don't know what it is.
What is that? Phonetical, what's the word? I don't even know. Just give us a way to say it. What's the word? Phonetical?
I don't know. Phonetic?
Yeah, the phonetic spelling. Melt. Oxie had it right. He's saying, yeah. So we can Savage Big Dad. Essentially, we can set up something that, like, on such and such date, we could say, hey, everybody meet at the Blue Moon Inn, join VC, and we'll hang out. You know, like that is a thing. But that like organically, I feel like that organically happened most of the time in the Discord anyway. And I know Savage Big Dad, you are a part of the Discord. So I don't know if he's just saying like, hey, for everybody who can't make it out, for everybody who didn't make it out. Yeah. XP Waste West in Las Vegas though. XP Waste West 2024.
We gotta get a little bit more Patreon money to do that. We make a ridiculous amount on Patreon. At least I think it's a ridiculous amount because like I'm drunk on fucking Sarah Brew with like smashing pretzels, and people are consuming this podcast and thinking, hey, I want to pay for this. So like to me, it's kind of mind boggling. But like it's not impossible. We just have to plan it.
Yeah. So 2024, meet us in potentially Vegas.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't set us up for
Don't
that.
do that.
No. Not the viewer. You.
Don't
Don't
do
set
that.
us up for that because we don't know. We're too drunk to do this shit right now.
Okay. Next question. We've got Iron Robin says, which piece of content do you enjoy doing the most? Strictly for entertainment value. For example, if you woke up tomorrow and your account was 200 mil all, and you had all the items in the game you could ever want, what would you do?
You got something or you want me to go first?
I just want to call out Tank is cool in the Twitch chat said that they would quit.
I mean, I wouldn't quit.
200 mil all.
I
You
would
had
definitely.
every single item.
I think like that definitely makes it less fun.
Yeah.
I think if I had everything and wasn't going for like any more XP gains, like had all the GM combat tasks and shit, and like everything was just instantly unlocked. And it was just like, oh, play this game for fun. First and foremost, I would connect to a VC with like friends because I think that's what would keep me from going crazy. But like, I really like Melee Vorkath. I really like Barrows. I do genuinely enjoy TOB. And I would probably, as weird as this is going to sound, I'd probably go back in the Inferno.
Nice.
And I would probably work for like a 60 sub 60 time, because I would probably go back in the fight caves too, because I fucking love speedrunning the fight caves. I haven't done a true speedrun for the fight caves in like months, but man, it is so much fun to get in there and like run around and do all like the weird tactics with like thralls and shit to get everyone going. It is so much fun. So like, I feel like I've always said I would feel like I'd really like that for the Inferno, but I don't know. I think if I had 200 mil all in all gear, I'd probably start like 8 different pet hunts.
Nice.
And you know what I also would probably do?
Right.
A lot of clue scrolls.
Yeah.
If I had unlimited money, dude, I would do so many clue scrolls.
Yep.
And so many pet hunts. It'd be stupid, because that's just the content I like doing.
Yeah.
You know, everyone always says like, oh, clue scrolls are shit, or like they do clue scrolls like Mima, who does like 3,400 for like a black boater or something. But like, I've always thought clue scrolls were super fun, and they kept me playing the game when I was a bad player. Because like there were probably several months in that like pre-TNL time frame where I like just hunted easy clues, and the time I could have been spending like increasing my stuff. Like I was watching Theoatrix videos. I knew about like pest control and barbarian assault, and like I knew in theory how to become a better player, but I just didn't want to do any of that because I was having so much fun doing clues. So I was probably, some media in the Twitch chat said, what do you mean was a bad player? Well, I still am. I'm just like,
oh my gosh,
you got me there. But also
rude.
Like, I would still do, I'd probably do clue scrolls. As far as PVM, like I said, Vorkath, Barrows, and Tob. Tob is genuinely fun now. I really enjoy doing it with the friends I have and like doing it with the team that I have. Which is so dichotomous, because if I do it with like 3 strangers, I'm like really anxious the entire time that I can't fuck up. But like I do it with my, Jesse, Fear, and Immortal, my like Tob team.
Yeah.
I think I can like laugh my way through Zarpus and like barely look at the screen and be fine.
Yeah.
Like, and not even like fuck up majorly, just like have a good time doing content I like with people I really like hanging out with. That's part of why Tob is so much fun. And then Vorkath and Barrows are just simple pleasures for me. So
nice. Yeah, I think that like at the end of the day, you're 200 mil all, so there's like, unfortunately,
there's no point in
there's
skilling.
no skilling left. You've done it all. Well, actually, no, you woke up and your account was just 200 mil all, and you have every item. So like, going for those items means nothing. So I think at the end of the day, right, pet hunting is it.
But like, if we go, I'm going to try to navigate with my left hand here.
Oh,
like look at my goal sheet that I have for the year. If I got 200 mil all in every item, I don't have any goals left. And all I have to do more or less is just like hang out with people and get numbers up to arbitrary points.
So you're saying you're 200 mil all and you have every item. So you start an Iron Man? That wasn't part of the question.
Don't you?
Because I
should look me in the eyes. Don't you dare.
Oh. That wasn't part of the question. They're like, what was you on your account? I think you're right. Like clue scroll hunting, getting like absolutely cracked rank in bosses, collection log. That's about it. That's all you have left. Like the fun has been taken out for me. Like getting 200 mils. Listen, not that getting 200 million XP in a skill is fun, but like you're already on the top. You're like on the high scores. If you suddenly woke up and you're like rank 86 or something with 200 mil all, why are you drinking that?
This is like a tall drink of water.
Why are you drinking that?
Because this is actually good as
it has alcohol in it.
It's a fucking mimosa. We're half a handle of vodka deep. You think a mimosa's gonna tip us over the edge?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how many pretzels I have eaten on this fucking show?
There's so many pretzels.
And you know what? I'm pouring more because I didn't want this fucking crinkly bag sound on the microphone. So I'm just gonna pour some more in this little bag. This is about to be so bad. I'm not even gonna watch. Game time,
in the
baby.
bag.
There's a lot of them. Okay, well, most of them are on the cooler, but a lot of them are in the thing. So
Not that funny.
all right, XP Wasters.
It's not that funny.
What'd we learn? Oxie shouldn't get this drunk on the podcast.
We've gone too far. So,
Taco Dog or Blue Heron, as he's recently been referred to, says level 120 skills when? Probably never. Because, hear me out. Pay to win scape, right, with RS3 makes it a lot quicker, right? It makes it more feasible. Y'all ever heard of Silverhawk boots? Where you just like train agility by standing there, you know? So, for those of you who don't know the exact numbers, 99 is what? 13.2 million XP? Something like that. 120 is about 104.5 million XP.
it's 13.045 something.
And they called me the neckbeard on Reddit. I don't believe that.
I'm Max. I've done it 23 times.
But
People are calling for me to wear one of her Hawaiian shirts. I want the lobster one.
you picky motherfucker. But no, in any case, like, submedian. Yeah, I'm going to call you. He knocked over all the liquor. You fucking idiot. I am going to call out Submedian here for a second. I know how much he loves being mentioned on the show. You have not one, but multiple 120 skills in RS3, right? Compared to OSRS and the training process between the two games, what is the genuine difference? Because, like, you're what? Maybe, like, base 80s right now in OSRS, more or less? Compared to RS3, it's gotta be drastically different. I got 120 Herblore from 99 in 2 days with 8 million XP per hour. And don't get me wrong, Herblore can be f***ed with how much you get, but he said he did it on a double XP weekend. So, like, I think we have a weird perception of 120s because of how RS3 does them. But why are you buttoning it with just the top button? My name's Jeff. That's what you look like right now.
Just process.
Jesus Christ. What's it called? Did farming from 113 to 120 in 30 minutes. That was with months of prep. It was like, still though, like, RS3's progression from 99 to 120 is part of the game, right? Whereas our progression from 1 to 99 is the core game. And psychopaths who go for more than like post 99 XP is really, really, really weird, right? So God, that's I don't like that. That's weird. It's a surreal experience. But I don't know. Frankly, I think 200 mil will never come to OSRS because imagine the unhealthy play style that will come along with that.
People want me to unbutton it. So many people.
Yeah. But you're wearing an undershirt though. So
I didn't take my undershirt off.
I don't know. And I think even like they had to adjust double XP in OSRS. There's no way Geeky Goat is in the Twitch chat right now. One of like 3 people with this shirtless Oxie emote. All right, Goat, this is completely irrelevant to what we normally do on Twitch. I'm so fucking happy you're back. I haven't talked to you in literal years, but welcome back to the party. We're currently recording our RuneScape podcast, episode 99. For those of you that don't know, the shirtless Oxie emote costs 10,000 bits, and Goat earned that over a several month period that I felt like we needed to have some sort of special reward for it in the chat. And she also has the artist thing, because when I actually used to stream, Goat designed all of my like BRB starting soon stuff. I knew Geeky Goat before I fucking knew Michael. So we're in the presence of something of a legend here. I'm also kind of fucked up, Goat. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little drunk, but good to have you back. Yeah. Michael's trying to he's trying to put the shirt on with no undershirt. But so happy to see you back on Twitch. I've been seeing you go live too, man. I hope your streams have been going well. I keep like seeing you go live in like the middle of the day or something, but I don't know. I hope streams are going well. I don't know, because I know you had a little podcast for a while, right? I don't know if that's still going or not. I remember last time we talked about it, the game was like kind of in turmoil. The last time we talked about it, I forgot the name of the game. But in any case, I hope things are just going well, man. It's been so long. I hope you're good, doing good, Goat. I've known Goat for so long. Yeah, long time. There's only 3 people that have it. It's Geeky Goat, it's Kaylee, and it's my ex-girlfriend who have it. Those are the only ones who have it. But I yeeted myself out of that community due to toxicity. Things are going fantastic, and I hope the same for you. I would say things are going pretty fantastic. I got my co-host from Texas here up with me for episode 99, but I'm glad you're out of a toxic community. Glad things are going well. Glad things are going fantastic. Hope your dog is doing well too.
All right.
So I forgot what the question was completely. 200 mils. 200 mils. They're not coming to old school. They're not doing it.
What do you mean? There are
200 or not 200 mils. 120 skills. They're not coming to old school. They promote too much of an unhealthy play style.
Was that the question?
I think somebody asked in the recording booth chat. I don't even remember at this point.
Oh, 120 skills when? I'm not unbuttoning it all the way. You guys can't pressure me just because I'm drunk. Take it off. Take it off. Next question.
No, we're not taking shots. Stop. Everybody stop. No shots.
This question is from Tiki Mug. They says, what do you think you would have done with all the time you spent on RuneScape had you never started? Wow.
Be really fucking depressed. I'm not gonna lie.
So for me, when I started playing RuneScape, I was a literal child. Like 12 and 13, you may think you're like mature and looking back, like you're big shot in the world, but like you're an actual child. Compared to where
I work
with
him every day. I know.
Like you're an actual child. And so like, I think I would have probably focused more in school. I would have played outside a lot more. And I probably would have played a lot more Halo. I may have like been really good at Halo.
This would be a Halo podcast.
We would if RuneScape never existed, like I probably would have picked up Minecraft. Like I have played Minecraft, and that's like probably my second favorite game in the world. But playing RuneScape, I've unlocked a community of people that I absolutely adore. And not to say that you can't get that in Minecraft, but like Minecraft is an inherently solo game. Unless you intentionally join like a server of people, it's an inherently solo game, and you can only get so far. Like you could have a solo world that just has like everything, but that takes a lot of dedication. So I don't know if RuneScape didn't exist. I don't know. Like what are you doing?
This is delightful.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it. I probably wouldn't be as into video games as I am now. That's just a fact. I'm really into video games because RuneScape and old school RuneScape still exist and they bring me back.
I don't really know what to chalk my thing up to. So, little bit of a backstory here. When I was an undergrad, I played a lot of Xbox, specifically a lot of Fortnite. This is back in like Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4. When Fortnite was at its absolute peak, when it brought back late night gaming that we had from the early 2010s with like Black Ops 1 and Halo Reach and things like that. Original Fortnite was fantastic, right? And I played that religiously all the time, but I would play it a lot with one of my good buddies, Owen. He's my best friend. He was the only person I ever played with. Because me, I tend not to like talk to random strangers.
You're literally afraid of like actually speaking in public chat.
Yeah, I don't like. I keep my like public chat like turned off. So like when I got home from college, I didn't really know what to do because I didn't really have any friends left in town because they had all either moved out or like were still at school. And I was gone from East Lansing. Like I moved from East Lansing, the land of opportunity with like dozens of people I knew in real life, to like my tiny little, mostly, upper middle class, older white folks who like didn't have any fucking interest in me, or like young couples who moved in with their little kids. So like, so Tyler just said I'm gonna nut in chat. I don't like it. But like, I moved back there and I didn't really have any prospect for any sort of friends. So I remember like the first week I got my new job working in the group home, I thought, it, I'm gonna make a Twitch account and I'm gonna try to make friends on Twitch. And that's gonna be as close as I'm gonna get to like having friends. And you can see what kind of progress that's made. Because I got a bunch of people in my chat right now for XP Waste, the podcast we made that effectively came from Twitch. But if you want to talk about RuneScape specifically, without RuneScape, I don't even know what I would be doing. Because without RuneScape, I don't know what I would have consistently streamed. I don't know how different my life would have looked. I don't know what because I've always loved video games. I don't know what I would play. I don't think I would get the same enjoyment out of video games as I do now. Because we've all experienced it. We've all been there where video games don't feel like a fun time to relax. Video games feel like, you stare at the reflection of the black screen while your game is loading and you think, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Then the game comes back on and suddenly you're like back into it.
Mm-hmm.
We've all felt that when we're lonely. We don't have anyone to talk to. But it's not Halo. It's not Minecraft. It's not Planet Zoo. It's not Civilization. It's not any of these other games that I've played with the people that I've met. It's RuneScape that has brought this community of people together. Even him. We have a lot of shared games in common, but it's RuneScape that brought this whole thing together. So I would probably be worse off. I would have had a lot more time to develop other hobbies for sure, but like, I don't have a bustling social life without RuneScape. All the people I fence with are either 14 or 50. So it's not like I can like go out to bars with people that I hang out with, So for me, having this game and having the community that's come from the game, I with the time I would have used, like, because I'm probably 45 to 5,000 hours deep on Oxie, my main account. I don't even know what I would have done with that time.
5,000 hours of your life?
It's weird to conceive that like 5,000 hours. I just made that account in fucking like November in 2015, or not 2015, November 20. When did mobile come out? October 31st, 2018, I think. That's when I made my account. I made it the day mobile came out.
Crazy.
So from all that time, I don't know what I would have done. Who knows?
Benny Beescape says, I love the way Oxy is giving a very lovely answer to the question. So Michael is borderline giggling in the background.
Michael can't have any other response than just giggling, but
people are giving us very bad advice to drink.
Someone said Oxy's 4'5", and damn, that's true, isn't it?
So
you can't see it, but my chair is up on cinder blocks right now because I'm so tiny. My feet are dangling off the edge.
The question was, did you think you ever done? Hold on. What do you think you would have done with all the time you spent on RuneScape? I never started. I kind of already answered it, but like, yeah, I don't know that I would have ever started streaming. I probably would have, because I actually started as a multi-streamer. What do they call that? Like a variety streamer. I started as a variety streamer.
I did all sorts of
I was playing Portal. I was playing Human Fall Flat. I was playing a bunch of solo games that like take thought. So there's a lot of things that I probably would have started doing, but it all roads end at RuneScape for me. And that's not like super sad to say, but it's a great game with a great community. Yeah. And like RuneScape is why we have this podcast.
Well, did you have anyone else in your community who wasn't from RuneScape?
Not really. I mean, whenever I got affiliate on Twitch, it's because I had my stream on a bot account on my iPad. My wife was watching, and then my friend Austin was watching me. And that's the 3 viewers that you need to get affiliate. And it wasn't because I had like organically made a community of people to play with. It was like almost as if I made it happen. Now, when I started streaming Portal, there was definitely people who joined who were very interested in me playing Portal. And like once I started playing RuneScape and once I started playing other games, they just stopped coming around. So like I definitely could have made a community and formed a community around variety streaming, but I think it takes I think there's definitely like a genre of games that you have to stick to. Yes, you're like quote unquote variety, but there's definitely a genre. Like you're a horror game streamer,
The best
or like
variety
you're a
streamers,
puzzle game streamer.
the best variety streamers, it doesn't matter what game you play, it's about the personality you bring to it, you know?
That's true. Yeah, and as an affiliate, like as a streamer with 3 consistent viewers, nobody's there for my personality. Nobody's there for my personality at that point. My wife is there for my personality, but that's about it. That's the whole thing is like you have to build that community, and it takes time. So we definitely spun this question to be more about streaming, but I think for video
But
game
that's
wise,
how RuneScape kind of started. Because like, if I weren't streaming, I don't know how much I would be playing RuneScape in general. You know, the flip side to that is, had I not played RuneScape, but I kept streaming, people like Kaylee, Crash, Julia, Physics, Geeky Goat, all the people other than probably my ex, and who even knows at that point, you know, I would still talk to these people every single day like I do, or like I did back then. Because the unfortunate aspect of RuneScape, the part that kind of RuneScape glares its ugly head in the sense that like RuneScape players only like RuneScape. And that's just like,
yeah.
we always reference our E3 episode as a time where like, dude, our viewership fucking plummeted so much when we released that E3 episode. You guys did not give a fuck about E3 2021, I think.
Yeah.
Whenever it was. But like, because of that, the times I would have been spending playing Jackbox or playing on a Minecraft server or playing Fortnite, Halo, Call of Duty, whatever with these other friends that I had, playing Ark, for example, like Physics, Crash, and I played Ark forever. You know, I played Fortnite with Kaylee, we played with Owen, you know, all sorts of people. And like, all of us were on Minecraft servers.
Yeah.
So that all got kind of very slowly phased out over time because I found RuneScape and because I found the people that were involved in it. Not because I liked them better, because those people were doing things that I like to do a little bit more. Yeah, at the time, at least.
I think I would be a Minecraft streamer. I think because like the
I don't
game
even know
that
if
I
I'd still
love,
be streaming. I genuinely have no idea.
the game that I love playing the most, other than RuneScape, is Minecraft. And I've been actually considering downloading a game called Age of Mythology because Tyler and Arionyx have been playing it, and that kind of scratches like the nostalgic part of my brain to say I played Age of Empires as a kid a lot. Me and my brother played that so much as a kid. Like we had 2 computers, one in our computer room and then one in my mom's office. And we had Age of Empires on both computers, and we learned that if you set up like an Ethernet cable between the 2 computers, you could start a LAN party before like the internet was super popular. And we would start a LAN party, and like me and my brother we would face each other. We had computers, and Age of Empires is a huge part of my childhood, and I didn't even realize it until I'm watching them play this game called Age of Mythology, and it's like made by the same people who made Age of Empires. Like that was a huge part of my life, and now like I just found out about it like a week ago. But had I known about this game a long time ago, I would have played the hell out of that game and maybe started streaming it. But like streaming for me was never about the money. It was about like building a community, and like the money was a cool side effect of it.
Yeah.
It was a way that I could fund like bigger and better purchases. Like I bought I had a really crappy wish.com microphone, and then I bought my Elgato microphone from the Twitch revenue that I got. So like it was always a way to upgrade the stream rather than, hey, I'm gonna be a full-time streamer and make money.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I think I need to take it back. I need to go to the restroom real quick. So,
We're taking a pause because Michael's got to piss and the bathroom's right behind.
give me a
so
second.
beautiful. God, I'm running out of prayer pots, boys. Or I'm running out of prayer.
You were drinking that?
Yes, it's good.
All right.
This one's actually good.
I am back. Here's to the restore. Super restore, buddy. Yeah. That's so much better.
It's just a mimosa. Make a super combat. You need to be
Ew.
stronger. All
what
right.
would a green drink be?
Absinthe, probably.
Ugh.
Absinthe and fucking mint. God, what's it called? Tiki, what's the mint liqueur called? Not Midori. Peppermint schnapps. That's what it is. We'd fucking die.
So green, yellow, and white. Does green and yellow make green? Or blue and yellow make green?
Yes.
That's why the super combat is green. Blue and yellow and white. Heyo.
Peppermint schnapps.
Should we pause and like throw the
McGillicuddy's? I'm not fucking drinking Dr. McGillicuddy's. I can't even read your name from that far away. RN 550, I think.
RN.
I had Dr. McGillicuddy's one time with the Lord Jake himself when we were up north for the 4th of July. Here, I got a visual indicator of what Dr. McGillicuddy's tastes. I should stand up.
Oh.
This is what Dr. McGillicuddy's fucking tastes like. Fucking Colgate mouthwash.
Michael is an art major.
Because yellow and blue make green.
Yellow and blue make green.
Literally stumbling in my own house.
Are you ready for the next question?
Yeah, what's up? How many questions do we have? I feel like we only gotten through like 9 questions.
Got like 5 or 6.
I feel like we physically can't get through them all.
We can. All right. We'll rapid fire some of these.
Yeah.
What's your wish list for Leagues 4? I have no idea.
To not make me want to kill myself.
Perfect.
I'm sorry. Leagues 3 was too long. Leagues 4 has to be shorter. If I could pick one thing, Leagues 4 has to be shorter. You could even redo Shattered Relics with a little bit more quality of life and optimization, but make it like 5 or 6 weeks long. Don't make it like 10 weeks.
Okay.
I don't want it extended.
A little shorter, not 10 weeks, but maybe 8 weeks. I want actual items that give cool things. Like Oxie made, what is it? The
Blade of Balance.
The Blade of Balance. That could be a really sick Leagues item
It could be a good relic too.
that you work for and you get drops from monsters. So really cool items and really, really, really cool relics that you have to choose whether you want this or this. You know what I mean? Because
It's not strong enough.
I think Shattered Relics gave too much leeway when it came to choice. Whereas like Trailblazer and Twisted League, you really had to like hone in the meta of what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like those first 3 relics, if you chose wrong, it was the end of the game for you. So giving a semblance of not the right or wrong answer, because I think that's dumb.
Yeah.
I think a right and wrong answer is dumb, but like I want the difference between 3 right answers.
Yeah.
3 right answers.
I want to be able to I want to be restricted in some way when playing a league. And normally I wouldn't want to be restricted, but because the XP rates are so cracked and the drop rates are so good that like Trailblazer was so iconic because we had to make these decisions and have these weird ass, setups to do content with. Like
Yeah.
I remember doing TOB and my best weapon for ranged Nyla was like an MSB because that's all I had. And like if we got someone who chose Desert for Ancient Magics, we were so happy to go with them to Tom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they had Ancients because like we had to fucking like tent whip spec the crabs at Maiden and shit.
That's
like it was
crazy.
so bad. So like, but it was so fun to play with that kind of restriction. So I feel like the next league has to be shorter and it has to be more restrictive in a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Group
OG
leagues.
Scuba.
I don't know how I feel about group leagues. OG Scuba just popped in and said that. I don't know how I feel about it because what happens with groups?
They fall off.
They fall off. And then
Yeah.
there's one guy who's like busting his balls in the last week trying to get Dragon Cup for the group, but the group isn't participating.
Sure.
So I feel like if you set yourself up with a group for group leagues, it'll be fun for a week or two, and then you're just not going to play it again. And if that's all you need, that's perfect, you know? But
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, next question. Evasive Ibu says, if you could design a raid, what theme / mechanics would it have? And more importantly, what would the pets be?
Underwater.
Ooh, underwater.
Because we don't really have an underwater biome. We have the seaweed. And I know RS3 has an underwater raid, but like underwater. Like,
okay.
maybe you have to, I don't know. Maybe it's like an ecological themed raid and you have to like fight a boat that's emitting carbon dioxide and killing the coral reefs. And then maybe you get like a fucking crab that instead of you get a hermit crab, but instead of a conch shell, it has like a coral reef on its back.
Ooh. Right on.
That'd
Okay.
be fucking sick. What
Moist
about you? What would you do for a raid?
I don't want to answer this one. Moist
What?
Sean.
Surely, come on, you can answer this
I have
one.
nothing.
You
I
have
have no-
nothing?
I have nothing.
Man, you
I
gotta
love
be
your
able. You
answer.
gotta be better thinking off the dome, brother.
I love your answer. Okay, Moist Sean says, assuming you're flying at an altitude of 20 miles above the ground over a residential neighborhood, you launch a watermelon down and it hits the roof of a house. Will the watermelon splatter on the roof, or would it go through the roof and cover the inside with watermelon splatter, scaring the living crap out of whoever is inside?
I feel like it depends on what kind of roof I'm impacting, you know? Because 20 miles, I don't know exactly what velocity that watermelon will be traveling from. Because you also got to factor how fast are we going? We're 20 miles above the ground, but are we just like stagnant and it's just gravity? Or are we in like an F-18
I don't think
traveling
it
at
makes a
like 20 kilometers a second?
like terminal velocity is terminal velocity. I don't think it makes a difference.
But are we traveling at terminal velocity?
No, like traveling above the like if you're going at terminal velocity, but then you drop something, how fast you're
But
going.
that item is still theoretically going at terminal velocity. That's why I say
Sure.
that.
Yeah, but
so like if
how
an
fast,
item is going that fast, it's going to go kind of forward a little bit when it falls. Like if it hits the roof of a house, I feel like it mostly depends on what kind of.
I think it's going through the house.
I would think so too,
Yeah.
but I feel like if it's a reinforced like a skyscraper maybe with like a steel roof and like a concrete reinforcement, it might not go through. But I feel like if it's just like my house at home, 100% of watermelons going through.
Yeah.
And it's probably hitting my sister's room. There's watermelon everywhere, and I'm gonna laugh my ass off
What is
because she's gonna be sitting up in her bed, and her bed's so like if you look at if my sister's room is like this, her bed is like over here. The watermelon would hit like right here, and she'd go like fall out of the bed. It'd be fucking hysterical. As long as nobody gets hurt, I kind of want it to go through the roof because that would be pretty funny. No people or no animals, but like. I suppose it depends on the roof. God, Moist Sean, you really shouldn't ask these questions when we're so f***ing drunk, man. Don't do that.
Duke Bradley says, on a scale of 1 to mole slippers, how are you doing?
Dog, I'm
We're mole
slippered
slippers.
up.
No, that's content. No.
I'm slippered up, baby.
No. Join our OnlyFans for feet content. I'm doing about mole slippers right now.
I'm mole slippers. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I can't wait for Tyler Fizzle to make an emote out of that.
Real Crazy says, what is in your own personal hated / disliked? What is your hold on. Real Crazy says, what is your own personal / hated / disliked update ever added to the game? And what would you do to fix it / make it better for yourself? Props if both have different answers. Also, I accidentally sent an empty submission, so just ignore that. Will do. So what is the update that you've hated the most? And what would you do to fix it? Why are you staring at me?
Would you like to go first?
No.
Iron Man.
Oh no.
And how do I fix it? We're moving into. You had to know that was coming.
Oh. Oh. Tiger Guy said coin pouches, and I resonate with that massively. I resonate with that on a spiritual level. Coin pouches are the epitome of stupid, and they do not stop bots. Anybody who even knows a remote amount of bots, a remote amount about botting in this game knows that coin pouches stops no one except legitimate players who are actually clicking on any sort of thieving spot. So coin pouches can rot, if you ask me. A lot of people in the Twitch chat are saying that the blue heron was the worst, or like the heron pet.
There's literally one person who said that.
A lot of people in the Twitch chat are saying
So
that the
viewers
heron
have heard this argument for 3 weeks at this point, because it's been like 4 days for you and I. It's been 3 weeks for all of them.
I won't even get into the heron pet here. So 2277 Iron Man, by the way, shout out to the Plaza. Their question is, with the increase of the number of guests lately, which creators or community member starting over.
Goddamn.
227 Iron Man, by the way, shout out to the Plaza. Question: with the increased number of guests lately, which creators or community members would you both like to have on in the future? Sebe would be a cool collab. Oh, the number of guests in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the creators that we have lined up, I'm pretty excited about. I mean, from this point on, mid-March until probably April or May, we have some pretty cool guests lined
In
up.
theory, we'll see if they work out.
Right, we'll see if they
schedules change. But...
schedules can be a big thing. So like the first half of this year is definitely going to be jam-packed with guests. The second half, who really knows? You know, the second half could be just me and Oxie and I, and we've like exhausted the list of people that we could ever talk to. But there's definitely a lot of people that I'm excited to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like my favorite content creators, obviously we've talked about Guns Chili being one of my favorites, and I'd be interested to like hear his take on the game, because he releases a video like once every 6 weeks. It's like a cinema quality YouTube video, but like, how has that changed from like weekly uploads and things like that? And I feel like that's kind of what I've noticed from all of these creators we've talked to, is like, I used to upload so much more frequently and then not so much. So I think someone good to have on the show will be someone we're not quite too familiar with, someone who does upload every week. You know, frankly, like Mighty, for example, was a really good example of someone we had on the show that I feel like would be good to interview. That motherfucker puts out content all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Between the YouTube videos, like legitimate YouTube progress series videos, he's like 70 episodes deep into those.
Yep.
And the like daily TikToks, like he's putting in the work to make the content. And I'm hoping that just goes further and further for him. But it's also hard to balance. Like, I'd love to talk to some of the legends too. You know, people are saying like, I think like 4 different people have said Jimmy in the chat. Like they really want to have Jimmy on the show.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun. You know, I think a lot of people would be interesting to interview. I would not be opposed to really anybody on the show, because I feel like we could talk about something different with everyone. But I feel like when you bring a content creator on, we almost stop talking about RuneScape, kind of, you know? Because like you and I have a good flow where we talk about the game, we talk about our like week's progress within the game, but like other than Zulu, who have we really had that's like talked about their in-game progress? Hanani hadn't even like logged in for like a year. We interviewed her.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know.
So there's definitely a lot more people who would love to talk about just RuneScape. But I think when it comes to an interview, I'm more interested in the person themselves than like what they're doing in the game. Because like if you follow a creator, if you follow a massive creator like Zulu, like you guys know what he's doing in the game. You guys know what he's up to. You don't need to listen to the XP Waste podcast to like know that Zulu is working on his group Iron Man. So like it's the things that maybe not everybody gets to hear, like the behind the scenes, the internal thoughts that he or she has. Those types of things are the things that I like to uncover. And that's the fun stuff. So you definitely can have a lot more. I don't know about Sebe, but we definitely have a lot more guests in the future.
I think the next big milestone we have is getting a J-Mod on the show.
Yeah.
But that opens up a lot of other avenues. Because, like, 2 days ago, somebody fucking tweeted Mod Ash and was like, hey, Mod Ash, XP Waste is having their 99th episode. Will you come on their show? And Mod Ash was like, I don't even know who you are. Like, he'd never heard of XP Waste. Granted, we had this plan long before. We had this plan, what, like by episode 79, we had this plan established already?
Yeah.
So we were set for months in advance for this. We've been keeping it a secret from you guys.
Hell yeah.
But I think a J-Mod's our next best bet. And the few J-Mods we've talked to, in addition to being like super respectful about like, hey, I'm busy as shit making the game that you play. And also like, I make the game that you play for like 50 hours a week.
I don't want to talk about it.
Like, I don't want to talk about it
Yeah.
outside of work. You know, it's a hard balance to strike because, and I get it. Like, I love therapy. I could talk about therapy, whatever, all the time. But if I did therapy all day long and I had a rough day doing it, and then I got home and two guys in a different fucking country were like, hey, do you want to talk about your day doing therapy? I would be like, I want to drink an iced coffee and tell you to fuck off. Like, I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I don't blame them, you know, but I imagine coordinating it would be hard. But I think overall for us, objectively, the next big guest milestone is probably a J-Mod.
Yeah, 100%. We got a couple now from Busco Beep. They have 3 questions. We're going to rapid fire them here. Triple question. What's your favorite piece of lore, big or small?
God Wars Dungeon, probably.
Okay.
And the God Wars themselves, how long it took. Zamrock betraying Zaros, Armadillo, or Saradomin stealing the Armadillo crossbow. Like, all of the alliances and the betrayals that happened throughout the God Wars, the Edicts of Guthix being created, you know, the wilderness being what it is today. All those ancient magics teleport places in lore were all major cities. Santistan, Anakarl, Gorok. They were all major cities of Zaros that all fell and turned to ash and ruin during the God Wars. So, like, there's just such cool potential. You know?
I love it. I would have to agree, but I think pieces of lore would be like the elf lore. There's a lot. There's like the elf lore goes deep. There's like, it's probably the biggest quest line, but next to like the vampire quest line that we have in RuneScape. So the elf lore would be pretty sweet. Next is what is the best looking special attack animation?
The golden BGS spec.
The golden BGS.
Because it took me 4 hours to not win a single LMS game to earn it.
I'm very partial to the AGS spec, but I also think that like it's not necessarily a special attack, but the imbued heart where like the red lightning comes down.
Sick. Yeah.
Again, it's not a special attack, but it definitely makes for a cool animation. And finally, from Busco Deep, what is your favorite weapon?
Busco Deep?
Busco Beep.
Where's that bus going?
It's going deep. Finally, from Busco Beep, what's your favorite weapon? Does not have to be metal. Does not have to be meta. Could just be nostalgia. Mine is the DHL because it was my first big ticket purchase to a farm, to farm Vorkath. He's grabbing something. Okay, so I'll go while Oxie is digging. But mine is probably, my favorite weapon is probably the Dragon Scimitar, purely for nostalgia. Back in the day when I played RuneScape 2, I wanted so badly to have a Dragon Scimitar, and I got it because I finished Monkey Madness. Obviously, Monkey Madness 2 wasn't a thing, and I didn't, like, the whip was never on my radar. That's like everybody's big, crazy thing, but like in actual old school RuneScape, the Fango Burr. Fango Burr. And it's so affordable that I think it becomes like the weapon that everybody can own and is good at any content. So like I think the Fang is actually my favorite item in the game.
Hold on. Wait. Probably a little bit more accurate of how it's held. The Frozen Abyssal Whip. I always thought the Frozen looked better. People are always like, oh, you get the Frozen because you can't get a Fire Cape, which was true for a while, but like I eventually got a Fire Cape. I still take the Frozen Abyssal Whip places. The Abyssal Whip as a kid was the most god tier weapon I could ever think of. I like had a 70 attack party when I finally got it as like an adult in 2019. I was so fucking excited when I got my first Abyssal Whip. Super cool. So as far as favorite weapon, definitely the Abyssal Whip.
Love it.
Most effective weapon? Absolutely not. But favorite weapon? For sure, the Abyssal Whip.
Blueberry party. This is the only food we have. Should we take a break and make pizza?
Nope. I think
After
we should
this
keep
question.
going. I think we should keep going because it's going to be a 6-hour episode. Take a break.
After this question, we'll
Nope.
go through some food in. Thank you, Busco Beep, for your questions. Next, we have somebody who didn't put their name on the question. It says, I see you've had a lot of content creators as guests. When are you going to have the one who the audience really wants as a guest, the bee the cat?
I just had her on at the start of this episode.
Yeah, she was just here. So
She's got a very, very busy schedule.
So sorry, but B will not be returning after this episode. Next question. Go back to the release of Old School RuneScape, knowing what you currently know about the game. What would you do as a developer to bring... We're developers now? What would you do as a developer to bring younger players to the game and not just retain the current market of adult players? More cosmetics, probably.
I mean,
More emotes.
am I releasing it today in 2023?
Yeah.
Or am I releasing it in 2013?
2023. I don't know. Like you follow the Fortnite model of like special dances and like celebrity guests.
I mean, who wants more kids? Gross, fair. I think for me, I would push the backup server back a bit.
Ah,
I would release the Grand Exchange. I would release Summoning. I would release God Wars Dungeon. I would release the graphical update. Because, like, the HDOS era that everybody knows, I would just push it back to that. And I would make, like, the graphics toggleable, more or less. But I would, like, release more of that off the rip. Because I feel like that attracts a larger age range of players. Because, like, I played predominantly during the HD days.
Yep.
Like,
so somebody just said, Tiger Guy said, to be honest, push for the HD version.
yeah, I mean, even a game that looks objectively better than what our game looks like right now. Like, I finally found the NVIDIA control panel on my monitor. So I have my shit set at like it was like set at like 60 frames, 60 hertz, like bare minimum.
Yeah.
And I finally put it up to like what these monitors are capable of. RuneScape's like a different game.
Oh, really?
It looks so smooth. It's kind of weird. But I think making it more HD and making it look better, because like even back in 2013, look at Old School RuneScape compared to Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 may as well have been a movie. It was so good graphically back then, you know? And to look at a game like OSRS, which is like to like cast a spell, nobody wants to play that.
Yeah.
I think a graphical update probably would have been the best move to bring. But if you wanted to bring back more tried and true RuneScape players who quit either during or before EOC, you push the update back to like 2009. Maybe even 2010. You fucking put While Gothic Sleeps in the game. Summoning is in there. All the skill dungeoneering is in there.
Yeah.
So like you just make Old School RuneScape a different era from what it is now. And I feel like that probably brings more players back. That's not saying I want summoning or dungeoneering now, but like if I was redoing it, I'd probably do it like that.
Right. If we can get like all those updates without the crappy like trade restrictions
it's
and the
too
wilderness
late.
going away.
Yeah, it's too late for a lot of that stuff now, but
Like if
You
we
know?
had old school with dungeoneering and summoning, it would be a completely different experience.
Chambers might not suck so much.
It would be a completely different experience. Like the Inferno would be the Inferno would have to have been designed way
It would've just been
differently.
harder.
It would have been way harder. If you could pack yak like an inventory of brews and restores to bring you
Mhm.
through that content, you wouldn't need some of the games that are like some of the items that are pretty meta right now. Like, would the twisted bow be a thing? Who knows? So great question. Thank you so much to whoever posted that. They didn't actually post their name. Next is from Iron Hyla /Luis.
What a man.
How do you feel about catching up on release content? I can say that I play the game more than I should, and although I'm hyped with new content, released, I feel burned out. I feel burned out because I have to make a choice between getting the items that are released or playing the new content. Sometimes I feel I would have a better time if I created my account earlier. Do you think that's something that affects new players, or is mainly a thing affected by us stupid Iron Man players? And how would you personally feel about it? Love the show. Love Hyla.
First of all, love you too, Hyla. Second of all, I genuinely think it's an Iron problem.
It's really an Iron Man problem.
Because like it's really shitty to be like, hey yo, there's this new raid, Tombs of a Masket, that releases absolutely equipment that you guys could love and enjoy everywhere. The Fang, the Shadow, the Missouri. But like, go play Barbarian Assault in 2005 first.
Right.
Go get your Barrows items first. Like, go do stuff that is like super old. And that's kind of where like RuneScape kind of suffers specifically for Iron Man. Because if we look at a game like World of Warcraft, when a new X pack comes out, everything is immediately like retconned.
Yeah.
Not retcon, but like it's no longer best in slot.
Right.
Like everything you're wearing can be improved. So whether you played World of Warcraft for the last expansion or Dragonflight was your first expansion since 2007, you know, everything you get is new and best in slot. There's no progression that you have to go through. You don't need A to do B to unlock C. It's an inherently Iron Man problem because main accounts can just buy the gear that they need, but some lower level main accounts kind of do run into the same problem, you know? And I don't know if it would help new players so much because a big part of the new player experience in old school is experiencing the game and learning about it. I contend that old school players, brand new players to OSRS, should not be allowed to use guides. They shouldn't be allowed to use Quest Helper. Quest Helper should be unlocked after 1,000 hours of gameplay.
Damn.
Because, like, you don't get to experience what the game really is. You don't get to fall in love with what old school is and what it was and what it was created. This isn't me trying to be like, oh, I had it harder, so you should have it more difficult too. I really don't fucking care. Like, use Quest Helper on a new account. I don't give a shit. But as far as like a personal standpoint, I think it does take a toll on people. You know, it is. Well, Hyla is talking about an inherently iron problem, which is just a side effect of the game mode. But it's only going to get worse because, you know, there was a period of time where Hyla was like, do I go for Rigor or do I go for Bofa? You know, because Bofa makes getting Rigor a lot easier, but Rigor makes getting Bofa a lot easier. So, like, what do? And then now there's the matter of, like, why do I even bother going for Zami Spear or Zami Hasta when I could just go for the Fang?
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I don't need that until I need to go for Vorkath. But why do I need to go for Vorkath once I get my backpack? Because I can get my Dragon Bolts from Muspa now.
Right.
But what do I do for Muspa as far as weaponry is concerned with how to Bofa? It's like the whole thing for Iron Men is kind of a shit show.
It's a completely different game.
It really
It's
is a
100%
completely
different game.
Yeah.
Like, the Grand Exchange makes everything so accessible that if you're an Iron Man, you have to plan out the next 6 months of your account. If you're a main account, like, you're going week to week thinking, man, what do I want to kill today? You know, that's not a thing. Like, if you, like, I always think back to any bingo we've ever had. And once we announced bingo, every Iron Man that was ever playing was like, okay, I guess the next 2 weeks is doing farm runs and freaking birdhouse
Cooking, yeah.
runs and cooking so that I can have brews and restores and food to do content that I want to do. It's just a matter of like, is your time worth the hundreds of hours, thousands of hours of like resource collecting, or do you really value your time enough to just literally like go on the Grand Exchange and buy this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of your play style when it comes to the game. Thank you so much, Hyla, for that question. Next on Cloud Kicker says, when are we getting dates for the North meetup?
I mean,
Soon? Maybe?
well, I mean, right now. It, we'll do it live. I mean, I don't know about you, but the 2 weekends I have in mind are like end of June, so like the 24th and 25th, or not quite 4th of July weekend, because I feel like people are going to be doing shit, but maybe like July 8th and 9th, right?
Okay.
A lot of people say 4th of July theoretically, but we all know that if we put something on 4th of July, nobody's going to show up.
Nobody.
So
that's around my son's birthday, so like I know I wouldn't be there, and I'm half
when's
of the
your
show.
son's birthday?
The 1st.
Okay, yeah. So the 8th and 9th, like, I feel like the 8th and 9th could be fucking pog.
Yeah. And it's like, in Michigan, is it too hot? Is it?
It's going to be hot, but it's not going to be like, Michigan
Texas
doesn't get violently hot. We have 1 week a year. We call it Hell's Front Porch. It's like 7 to 10 days where it gets like mid 90s. But compared to like Texas hot, it doesn't get that hot.
Good.
We range between mid 70s to mid 80s all summer long. So I feel like it is humid. Scuba brings up a good point. It is humid. So if you're used to a dry heat, you might be in for a bit of a tizzy. But I feel like maybe July 8th and 9th, because that's after the holiday weekend. But the problem is, Taco Dog says 90 degrees, mid 90s is hot, laughs in Texan. 40 degrees is cold, laughs in Michigander. Talk to me when your city can drive in 1 inch of snow, bitch. It's
Rude.
either that.
Rude.
Don't come after me like that. You're gonna get the smoke you don't deserve. It's either that or June 24th and 25th. So I feel like, I'm more partial to the 8th and 9th myself.
Of July?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be around the end of June, probably early July. So that's what we can say now. It all depends on, like, getting off work for either of us. What's going on with our job.
Work, no problem. But, like, tentatively speaking, either June 24th or 25th or July 8th and July 9th. Tentatively speaking, those are the weekends that we're deciding between. So it's one of those two.
Nice.
That's what we're going for. And we'll let you guys know very soon what we're going for with that, because hopefully Michael and I do a little bit of planning on the way back to Detroit tomorrow. So.
Oh, yeah. All right. Next question. THG Bang says, how did you transition into more high-level bossing, and when did you know it was time?
I met friends who said, hey, Oxie, come do this high-level bossing content with us.
That's exactly right.
And I brought a one-way switch to my first ever Chambers as Eric. I brought a whip and a dragon crossbow and a trident with my janky setup, and I think I had 11 restores and probably 14 brews in my inventory. And then an overload and an enhance, or whatever that math is, to get all the slots. I could put a picture on screen right now. I mean, I took Void to Theater of Blood. I learned with a bunch of learners, TOA was a little bit different because, like, I was doing the Inferno when TOA came out. So, like, it wasn't like it was a big learning curve once we got, like, I think the first day I got a 150 completion with Ralph later that night. But, TOA was a little bit different. But as far as higher level content, I just had friends who were like, you, you're coming with us to high level content. And that I still see that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of learners going on in the Discord, a lot of people who are like, you get comfortable with high level invocations like with TOA, and then you're like, well, okay, is it, we've mastered 200s, what about 250s? And then 250s are all around. You're like 300. Are we going to expert? And then experts are like, okay, well, what kind of invocations can we really push? And then you end up at 460s, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
It
I
just
think
becomes like more comfortable over time.
it does, and a lot of it is accepting the fact that you're just going to do bad the first time. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you do bad. I still do bad, and I go to high level content, so just do it. You know.
As the person who's not good at high level content, I think it really just depends on the people you have who are, one, encouraging you, and two, willing to try and like do that content with you. For me, I can remember like the highest level content I ever did before I met everybody in this Discord was God Wars Dungeon. And I was terrified. I was terrified to go to Bandos because to me, that was like the pinnacle of content back in 2016. And it really was. Like 2016,
Yeah, well,
there was
that makes
not
sense, but-
much. You had maybe Slayer bosses that were really, really not challenging, but they were up there as far as like the pinnacle of content that people would do. It wasn't really till 2017 or 2018 that the true end game content came in the game with raids.
When Chambers came out in 2016.
So it's a matter of opinion when it comes to when you know you're ready, but if you can get around people that are willing to teach you, people that are willing to bring you and be patient while you may not have the best gear, that's the type of people you want to be around. And there's plenty of people in our Discord, discord.gg/OSRSTNL. If you want to join arguably the best Discord in the country, in the world of Gilnor, join our Discord. So thank you, THG Bang, for that question. Next, we have a guy named Sparry. Is there something you wish you knew about podcasting when you first started doing the show that you know now? I would like to have known that if you can't hire an editor, editing a podcast takes a long time. Not just because you're really bad at talking in the moment and you can't trust yourself to say the right things and just post an episode, but no joke. If an episode is 2 hours long, it takes 4 to 6 hours to edit it. And that's just because like Oxie and I
Not
both
like 46 hours straight.
4 to 6 hours. We both meticulously like comb through the episode to like if somebody says too many times, or there's a too long of a break, or we say something and we have to re-say it, we take that stuff out. And I think that's the baseline of quality that you should post on a podcasting platform. Anything past that, like if you have cool music transitions, or if you have like an actual like theme that you bring week to week, which we do. We kind of have a theme, we go through the different sections that we go through, but like for me, it's just how long it would take to produce, a 1 to 2 hour episode. A long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, other than like, there's one thing I wish I would have known starting podcasting. It's you have to be very thorough with guests to get their audio where podcasting should be, because audio for Twitch streaming versus audio for podcast recording looks very different with like filters and, audio tracks and things like that. But otherwise, I mean, we've not really run into any like major hiccups. We had God, what was Kaylee's file that one time? The like MKV. No, it wasn't MKV. It was something else. It was some other file that like didn't convert well to MP4. Maybe it was MKV, but it like wasn't working in Premiere Pro, and like the whole thing was a shit show. So like, but again, that goes back to like kind of like centralizing guests into like, here is the format that we use. You will adapt to our format for our editing needs. Like, other than that, every hiccup that we've had, the only one I can think of was when OBS updated and I didn't record my audio. We've not really had any like
that sucked.
That aren't guest specific problems that we've had. Like when we did Mathis in like episode 4 or whatever it was. Mathis recorded desktop audio. Would Kaylee gave us the wrong kind of video file. Scape's noise gate was on so high it sound like that it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, other than guest related issues that we have slowly started to comb out over time, pay attention to OBS updates. Like, I would say develop a routine, which we've done, which is like do a test recording before every episode, no matter what, and make sure you have enough space in your computer. It's literally all I can think of, because I feel like the organic growth really hasn't been that bad outside of bringing guests on the show.
Yeah. Nicely done. Thank you, Spy, for that question. Chris
Probably Chris
says, right? What is with Oxie's joke about being a midget?
Because I think it's funny. I think it's a harmless little gotcha, you know, like I'm 6'3", and I spend a lot of time on the internet, obviously, and I just think it's funny when people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm 6 foot," and they're actually like 5'9", you know. So I just decided to slip the script on that and say like, "Yeah, I'm 5'7". I genuinely do put it. I think my Bumble bio right now. We can look. You can pull it up right here live. I think on Bumble I'm 5'7" on my profile.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. We've got Matt. Yeah, my basics. Look at that. I almost never work out. Graduate degree. I'll take a fucking screenshot of it. Here, look at that. I'll take a screenshot of my basic information and I'll put it up on the podcast for you right now. It says I'm 5'7".
You're a joke.
It's a funny little gotcha. Because like, all right, think about it. If you're attracted to tall guys and a guy says he's taller than he is, and he shows up and he's 5'8", 5'9", that feels kind of shitty.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're attracted to tall guys and you're like, whatever, I guess I'll go with 5'7", and a 6'3", 300-pound Titan shows up, and it's like, gotcha.
Don't do that.
That's not only harmless, but also kind of funny.
Don't do that.
All I'm saying is,
what is the harm in just putting your actual? Okay.
There's
I don't
no
judge
harm
you for
putting
it.
my
You could put your
actual height.
5'7". There's no harm in actually putting 6 foot, 6'3".
Just an 8-inch difference.
Okay, thanks.
So yeah,
Chris,
I don't
for
know.
that.
I just think it's funny online, because it's also funny when people meet me and then after the fact the reaction is like, Jesus Christ, you're a lot bigger. You're a lot larger than I thought. I'm like, yeah. Like, there's a lot of clues that I'm definitely not that short. Like, on my Instagram, I have photos of me in my bathroom, and like, I'm nearly as tall as the door frame. Like, I'm taller than my chair. Like, I remember one time I was in VC with Leo. We were talking about heights, and I'm like, yeah, I'm 5'5". And he's like, bitch, you are not 5'5". He's like, your shoulders go above the back of your chair. You are not 5'5". I can tell you're tall just by the way you sit. So like, I just think it's funny to fuck with people, but I don't know.
Nice. RSN Butter 6000 says, what piece of OSRS content what is an RSN
Brother, you gotta read, man.
Reading is hard. RSN Butter 6000 says, what is a piece of OSRS content that you can play over and over and never get bored with? Alternatively, what is a piece of content that you refuse to play because you dislike it so much?
Because we've already answered the first question a little bit ago. OSR's content that I refuse to do, Wintertod.
Ooh.
I genuinely fucking hate Wintertod.
Nice.
I will thieve. I will do agility. I will mine. Something about Wintertod. I think it's the interruptions that make me want to scream.
Yeah, I agree.
I do not like Wintertod at all. I don't like it. And frankly, if I never have to do it again, I won't be mad.
I don't think there's a single piece of OSR's content that I would refuse to do again. Wintertod is not fun, but like
Master Clues?
I would do Master Clues, but it's my account is better served only doing one than doing multiple. So for me, there's nothing in the game that I wouldn't do. I mean, there are boring things, like Castle Horse is boring, unless you have a group of 25 people that really make it fun. But like a group of 2 or a group of 3, when you're just going for your diary, that's kind of boring. Trouble Brewing, everybody says, is like the most boring piece of content. But like, if you had an actual game of Trouble Brewing where people really, really were into it,
I can't
I'm
imagine
sure it would be
that
fun.
good.
No, I'm sure it would be fun.
Does anyone know how to play, though? Like, I don't even know how to play Trouble Brewing. I feel like we kind of had to learn
don't
for
know.
a league one time, but
Nobody really knows. Ochi Scuba says keeping the heron pet is something that Michael would never do. That's facts. That is 100% facts. So, moving on, Taco Dog 8 says, Michael, what is your favorite Pokemon and why is it Pelipper? The Pokemon that reminds you of your favorite pet. Pelipper? I don't even know what Pelipper is. I don't know what my favorite Pokemon is, but I would have to maybe go with a starter
Taco
from
Dog. I rep Hoenn, right? I know exactly who Pelipper is, and that's a fucking hysterical meta joke right there.
Show me Pelipper.
Keep talking.
The only Pokemon game that I really ever played was Pokemon Platinum, and the 3 starters from that game are Chimchar, Turtwig, and Piplup.
Good man.
And I loved Turtwig, but like a grass type is not a great starter. Usually you go with a fire starter, right?
Grass types are OP as shit in the
Okay.
early games.
Okay.
Torterra is f***ed. I
Mhm.
love Torterra.
But like Chimchar was great. I hate you.
That's
Don't do
Pelipper
that.
right there.
Don't do that. Pelipper? No, thank you. Moving on. David Diction says, if you could decide without polling, what content would you like to remove from the game? Additionally, what content would you like to see added to the game? Damn, that added question is hard,
God,
but
that
like
is such a
removed?
fucking long answer.
Removed?
Iron Man.
Shut
I'm kidding.
up.
I would not remove Iron Man from the game. I need an adversary, or else the game's no fun. I feel like the Joker with Batman, where when they rip off his mask, he gets all pissed off and he goes, "No, I didn't want to know. I wanted the mystery."
Oh my gosh.
Like that kind of thing. So without who am I without Iron Man?
Right. Honestly, I don't think there's no like single piece of content that's worth removing. I think like underwater fishing, just off the dome, like drift net fishing is dumb. Like if they could update drift net fishing to be more rewarding and less just like click intensive, sure. Like off the dome, there's like nothing in the game that I'm like, ugh, other than coin pouches.
Yeah, like I appreciate the game a little bit too much to be like, all right, we're taking something out. And everyone's like, oh yeah, remove rune crafting, remove Wintertide, but like the Wintertide kind of the train fire making.
It does.
I
Better than
hate it.
burning
I don't
logs.
like it. No, that's why I burned logs, because I hate it that much. But like, it kind of to do fire making. So I don't know. It's a tough spot of what I would like blanket remove. Like even something that's underutilized, like the Dorgashan area. People put so much work into that. I'd feel bad removing it.
Yeah.
You know who I'd remove without skipping a beat? I would remove Charlie Steps and Beginner Clues. I'm not kidding.
Bro, have you done a Charlie Step since they updated it?
Several times.
And it's still bad for you?
I just don't like
Like
it.
the fact that you can just go to the Grand Exchange and buy it?
Trauma response.
Oh my god.
I'd remove it. Without skipping a beat. Charlie the Tramp can go f himself. I'd remove Charlie Steps. Yep. I don't know what I would add.
I'm too drunk to think about what I would add.
I wish I could give you a better answer, brother.
you
but
finished your restore?
yeah, dude, I got full prayer pots again. I'm gonna brew down. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm passing out mid episode, dude. I'm gonna tell you boys right now. I lied. We're not doing achievement of the week this week. You want to know why? Because I haven't pre-planned achievement of the week, and I'm literally going to die.
I think we're actually going to take a break here in a minute and go cook our pineapple pizza.
I say we got one more question, then we try. I forgot we do a break in this show.
Yeah.
Because we're 2 hours and 47 minutes in and we haven't taken a break. So
I don't know what game, like I don't know what content I would add, because that's a hard question. So, final question before we take a break and make a pizza. Jordy says, "Hi, it's me, Jordy, better known as the Big G Jordy. My question is, in my video." What? They added a video? Oh, hold on. They added a video.
the Big G Jordy with a question about games, since I'm somewhat of a collector. What are 3 games you would recommend to someone they should play at least once in their life? And it can't be RuneScape, even though we all know it's number 1, of course.
Thank you, Jordy, for that question.
I did not. God damn, Jordy's a handsome man. Games I would recommend people to play.
3 games.
3 games. Halo Reach,
Okay.
Spyro 2. So Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. And it's tough now because it's so far past the point of popularity. You know? Probably either Pokemon Emerald or Pokemon Go.
Nice. Yeah, honestly, 2016 Pokemon Go blew my mind in what could be, like, what a community of people could be.
Truly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Halo Reach, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, just because I fucking, that game was so much fun as a kid. And then what's it called? Pokemon Emerald or Pokemon Go. Just because I'm a Sapphire kid myself, but Emerald had the best of both worlds from Ruby and Sapphire, plus more. And then Pokemon Go, I played so consistently since 2016. But like, I was playing the Pokemon Go Hoenn tour, and like, it's just depressing. Like post-COVID, I feel like I'm in a fucking ghost town. I'm like the only one walking around doing raids. And like, back in the day, pre-COVID, like, you could spot a motherfucker playing Pokemon Go from 1,000 yards away.
Yeah.
Not only because they were very obvious in what they were doing, because there were so many of us playing it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
there was the tell was always if the phone was plugged into something.
Uh-huh.
If the phone was plugged in, or if they had 2 phones in their hands, like Kevin Gates,
no.
100%, you knew they're playing Pokemon Go. And then because, especially if you knew the area really well, like if you were local, if people were like in my hometown, if people were like standing around the St. Clair, like Welcome to St. Clair, like arch, right? We saw on the river, they're raiding.
Yeah.
I know they're playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
If people are on CMU's campus and there's like 4 or 5 people lingering around like the foyer of the library, I know you're doing that Deoxys raid. Like, I know you're playing that. And I'm going to walk up and I'm going to say hello. Those people just like don't exist anymore. It's so hard to find. And it is like legitimately sad to like see, you know, I feel like Thanos, like, let me guess, this was your home? And he says it was, and it was beautiful. And there were so many people playing.
Oh.
So that's why I'm torn between Emerald and Go, because I feel like Go, you might not get the same experience now because the community really changed it. But, you know, Taco Dog says being friends with Oxie and Pogo is amazing. It's not, because I don't play as much as I used to, but, you know, still. He doesn't send me gifts. I'm like, you know.
My 3 games are, and not because somebody said it in the Twitch chat, but definitely Donkey Kong 64.
Never played it.
I played the hell out of that game as a
Never
kid.
played it.
Donkey Kong 64. Minecraft. I love Minecraft so much. The game at its core is like, you know, a 10-year-old could master it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
and
so much
do.
There's so much depth when it comes to Minecraft versus like any other game. Like, it's literally just blocks, but it's great. I love it. And then the last game is Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing for the Switch. I mean, I played the
New
one,
Horizons is really good.
I played the one
like
for the DS. I don't remember which one that was, but I played the heck out of that one.
New Horizons does a really good job of integrating new players into Animal Crossing without the problem of like not knowing who people are. Because like all the characters you see in Animal Crossing New Horizons, Blathers, Tom Nook, Timmy and Tommy. This? No, you drank that, motherfucker. Timmy and Tommy, you know, even like Celeste, Gulliver, there were some new additions in Animal Crossing New Horizons, but more often than not, a lot of them were returning characters, but it didn't make you feel bad for not knowing who they were, because it just like let you pick it up as well as it could. So New Horizons did great with introducing people to Animal Crossing. Don't even think about it. It looks like piss now. This is how you know this is either going to be a break or the end of the episode. We'll see where it goes from here, boys.
Oh, it's still bad. That's so bad.
It's not as bad.
So bad. Yeah. I never played Stardew Valley. My wife played Stardew Valley.
Oh, Stardew. I love Stardew.
The disrespect for Stardew Valley, the disrespect for Stardew from Taco Dog is real. But like, I never played it. I
I will say the problem with Stardew Valley is like Animal Crossing. You could give a villager a literal piece of human shit, and they will go, "Oh my god, I have wanted this for so long. You are my best friend. I love you more than anyone in the entire world." You will spend an entire season growing the highest quality produce to then refine it into the highest quality jam, the highest quality cheese, wine from fruit that hasn't been cultivated by civilization in thousands of years. And you'll give it to someone and they'll go, "Ugh, ew, what the fuck is this? I don't like wine." Like, it is so disrespectful what people do in Stardew Valley compared to Animal Crossing.
Oh gosh.
But I love them both so much. Stardew is such a fun, like, for me, Stardew Valley is like a fun summer game because I love planting plants, like my little fucking balcony with all my plants out there in the summer. And like, I put my AirPods in and I put the Stardew Valley music on when I'm repotting everything because like it just feels good. You know, I love Stardew. I love Animal Crossing. So definitely good suggestions for sure.
Thank you to Jordy for that question.
What did I do? Oh,
Did you just change the theme?
I did, yes. I think we're good. We're back.
I think it's time for a break. We're gonna make some pizza.
I think it should be time for a break, yeah, because we're
Get some
dying.
food in us real quick. So we'll be back with some like RuneScape inspired food, and maybe a little more sober. But then
we'll see.
We'll see.
For those of you in the podcast, we'll see you very soon. For those of you on Twitch, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Howdy, XP Wasters. Welcome to the break for episode 99. It's currently 1:07 in the morning here. About, let me see, 6 hours before this episode is supposed to release. I have been having a blast editing this episode. Almost as much fun as I had making this episode. So I figured, in addition to the, stock standard recycled commercial, just thank you guys for hanging in there and being awesome throughout this episode. Thank you to everyone who submitted a question. Thank you to everyone who watched on Twitch and, helped boost my viewership and, asked and communicated with us in the XBase chat and the Twitch chat. This was a lot of fun. This was very special. This was a good time. Good time to do the recording. So you guys have about an hour of chaos left from Michael and I. So hold on to your butts. There is no achievement of the week, unfortunately. I promise we will get back to that for next week for episode 100. I think Michael and I are going to divide it up because there's also going to be no community question response next week. So we're going to have like a super achievement of the week next week. But yeah, enjoy this commercial and then we'll get right back to the crazy. Thank you guys so much. Love every single one of you. Happy scaping, friends.
Ahoy there, citizens of Gillinor. My name is Captain Murphy, and I'm on the hunt for seamen. I need the hardiest seamen around, the best in all of Gillinor. What am I gonna do with all these seamen, you ask? I'm gonna take them out on my world-famous fishing trawler. Here at Captain Murphy's fishing trawler, we're going out to sea for a juicy bounty that only the open ocean can provide us. The seas at Gillinor are perilous, so grab your rod with both hands and fill your mateys' holes with that sticky hot tar. Yarg. The journey across the open ocean will be long and hard, but incredibly rewarding. You'll be coming home with enough fish to fill your sack for the next week, and if the luck of the sea be upon you, you might even leave with another man's soggy trousers. Yarg. Bring you and all your salty sea dogs down to Port Kezard and sign up to take a trip out on Captain Murphy's fishing trawler. Be the seaman you were meant to be. Yarg.
Boom, we have returned. We realized the break was actually going to be a lot longer if we just cooked a whole fucking pizza. So here we are.
Welcome back. I had to unmute my microphone.
He muted on disc. SMH, Michael.
I did. My feet are frozen because I laid on the couch and almost fell asleep during the break. And
we were gone for like 15 minutes.
We were gone not that long. And I went and stood in the snow and tried from Oxie's balcony. I tried to throw a snowball at his car. Wasn't that far, but I almost hit it. I was just a little bit off, but my feet are...
He got one that was close. The other probably 15 were like not even near the vehicle. Like my man's was down bad.
Really, really bad.
Yeah.
I almost fell into the snow, but
It was pretty funny.
we are good. We're good to go.
Kind of wish he would have.
Okay, we're back. And we have some more questions to answer. Thank you, Jordy, for the last question before the break. Welcome from the break. Welcome back from the break. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break. I know that I sure did. Right?
There it is. He's done it correctly, boys. We're officially back now.
Okay. Fizzle. Lovely Fizzle. Thank you so much, Fizzle. Fizzle says, what is something you're thankful for / value about in your fellow podcast hosts?
How efficient and timely you are, and how like how efficient and how timely, and how like just you do things. You know, you're the planner. You're very much like, if it is not done my way, it is not done properly, which is not always that bad. In most cases, it's not, because your way is often pretty good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes me want to slam my head into a wall, but most of the time it's pretty good. I will say so. I'd say your drive and your efficiency from doing the show, whether it's doing audio adjustments or video adjustments or finding guests or distributing on Anchor, like whatever you have to do, you do a very good job of getting it done. And I do appreciate that, because I feel like without you, the show does not catalyst as it has, progression wise.
And alternatively, I appreciate you for keeping me grounded, because I think that sometimes I can go over the top a little bit when it comes to like being meticulous about things. And so having that balance between us, like, first of all, thank you for saying yes to being my co-host. You know, like having not ever like listened to a podcast for reals, you did it. And we're here. We're 99 episodes. 99 episodes. Like nearly
13.045 million XP in podcasts.
We're almost there, you know? So, like, thank you for being the one to say yes. Granted, I only ever asked you. So
Goddamn right you did. You're goddamn right you did.
You said yes, and that was all I needed. And, like, you bring so much to the podcast that, like, I can't think of everything. I can't be the only one to have ever... Oh, yeah, we have drinks. Oh. I can't be the only one to have ever thought of things. You contribute 50% of what this show is. Like, it's definitely a partnership. This is not just me editing, coming up with ideas, thinking of new, like, achievement of the week. That's all you, man.
I mean, so, we could give attributions to either person. I think we have our own strengths and weaknesses, surely, with the show, but like, that face sums it up pretty well, folks. No kids.
No
That's
cues.
for the OnlyFans. I, to my podcast host.
I have a lot of fruit I need to eat in here, but we'll save that. We'll save that.
It's just so
Thank you, Fizzle, for that question. All right. Duke Bradley says, why is the heron your favorite pet and why? Why is the heron your favorite pet and why? Whoever said it was. Guys, it's definitely not something that I want to spend the rest of my life being like tied to. I have a hot take, and that's about it. There's other things that I think I could be more passionate about other than this, like talking about the heron pet.
It's too late.
My computer just died. So
Why? Wasn't it plugged in?
we need to unplug something.
Wait, what? Oh, hold on. What do you mean your computer just died?
My fan just went
Hold on. Hold on. They can't hear us anymore. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hey, your computer just died. Hold on.
I have a charger, but it's all over there. It's all the way over there.
Wait, I can't unplug anything.
There's got to be something. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Nate Dogg just subscribed with Prime Gaming. Thank you, Nate Dogg. Brothers, what is the difference between an Hermione and an Enzemi? Enzemi. You can't hear an Enzemi? Enzemi? LMO. How did you just pronounce enzyme? Enzyme? Enzyme. Enzyme. An enzyme. Enzyme. Too drunk is right. What the freak is English? English is a bunch of berries in a drink. Enzyme. Enzyme. What's the difference between a Hermione? Guys, it says hormone. Why are you asking the difference between a hormone and an enzyme? Shut up. Shut up. The Twitch chat is so small. It's so small. What's the difference between a hormone and an enzyme? I'm really quiet in the Discord. What are you talking about? Legendary, are you in the Discord right now? That's better. Yeah, well, I had myself muted. Okay, next question. Oh my gosh, from Ziggy. Next question. Next question comes from Ziggy. If you both had to ditch each other and replace each other with one person from the clan to continue the podcast with, who would it be and why? Love the content. If I had to replace anybody from the clan and Oxie was not on the podcast, it probably would have to be somebody that I'm like really good at talking to. Like I could talk to the T-Pace Tyler forever. I could talk to somebody like Submediant or Arionyx forever. Like Salted Snail, Seth, him and I carry on the podcast. So there's a lot of people. TMD. Somebody in the Twitch chat says TMD. TMD 100% could carry on the podcast with. Like nobody can replace Oxie. Nobody could replace my man Oxie. The man that I just stood on his balcony and I threw a snowball at his car. Can you imagine anybody else in that situation? No. Okay, so now's the point in the show where my man Oxie's coming back. What? Beer? You got beer? What are you thinking?
Man, what pair's better with pizza? Come on, bitch.
Okay. He said, you drunk? Nice knowing you.
To answer the question, I'd get everybody. I get TMD, Submedian. I get Jesse, Immortal. I get Scape. We'd have one 40-person podcast, and that would be it. That would be the end of it.
All right.
Just be an uncut Discord call. And it'd be everyone. That's going to be hot as I wouldn't do it.
You have to approve Nate Dogg's question.
No, I don't have to. He just added me.
Oh, he just added you. Okay.
It's my name on that list. You're part of the people, Nate. Come through. It's a 40-person. Don't switch. What? Just come through. Everyone in Discord gets to show up at once.
I feel like it's impossible to replace each other once you've seen each other's feet.
So what I'm hearing is I need feet pics from other people in Discord. Next question.
All right. Hi, Michael and Oxie. It's Humble Owl.
Humble Owl.
This is for either of you guys. If you were to have a kid or a second kid for Michael, and you had to name it after an NPC in RuneScape, what would it be? One for a boy and one for a girl. Honestly, I think the name Lilywin is really
like little Lily. That'd be cute.
Lily, like Lilywin is it's actually a beautiful name, despite my unnatural attraction for the NPC. Like all of that aside, I think like attraction can turn into appreciation in the same note, right? And then appreciation turns into that's a really beautiful name, Lilywin. And then you call her Lily. For a boy's name, I think Rolled? King Rolled? Hey, Rolled! Somebody in the Twitch chat said Grador. Yeah, I think Lilywin and Rolled.
That poor boy.
This poor guy.
Named Rolled. Jesus Christ.
This is Red Baron Pizza, not a sponsor.
You're going to burn yourself. Be careful.
I've done worse.
You're going to burn yourself.
Answer the question.
I mean, I could go for like good girl names, but I won't. Or good boy names, but I just won't. I mean, yeah, he's burning himself, boys. That's hot. He's suffering. He's trying to push through, but that roof of his mouth is flaking off because he's burning. Yeah, for girls, it's kind of tough, you know? Because I like the name Eris a lot or Annika a lot for girls, like in real life. So I don't know what's quite close to that.
That's so good.
You're damn right it is. It's pineapple pizza from old school RuneScape, baby.
Did we show the pizza?
We did, kind of. Oh, you know what would be a good name? Ella Maria. Like the queen in Varrock. Ella Maria would be a cute name for a girl. Yeah.
Well, my kid is named Rolled and yours is Ella Maria.
More or less, yeah.
King and Queen of Varrock.
I like Ella Maria because it could be Ella, it could be Maria, or it can just be Ella Maria. EM? I don't know. It's not very good. It's a terrible name for a girl. And then I kind of like Reanimated Axe for a guy. Tustenthal Gritch or whatever the fucking demon's name in Zammy is. That's not too bad.
You're terrible.
What can I say, man? What do you want from me?
That's like saying Bob.
Eve. Like outside the... Or breathe outside the...
Eve.
Outside the fucking smoke devil cave. This is my daughter, Ella Maria. This is my son. This is my son. Fucking... mutate or what's it called, like bodacious mutated blood veld or something. I don't know what the term is. Insatiable mutated blood veld.
Your son's name is Insatiable. That's terrible. All right, who said I love you first? No name on this question.
Me, motherfucker. Of course I did. What are you talking about?
He's the
Next
emotional one. Monkey Bonana says, what is the weirdest and or funniest place you've ever played OSRS mobile? I think it was before mobile, but I had a hotspot on my phone, and I had I had my laptop, which was not a Mac, by the way. I'm pretty sure it was like, no, it was a Mac. I had my first ever Mac, and we were going to Florida for a wedding, And when I wasn't driving, I was cooking karam. So like all through Louisiana and Arkansas down to Florida, I was cooking karam the entire time with a hotspot on my laptop playing on OS Buddy.
This speech is pretty good.
Uh-huh.
The weirdest place I played? Man, that's really tough. I used to play at like my old job, but I worked at a group home a lot. So people would be talking to me and I just wouldn't pay attention because I'd be playing Osrs on my phone. I think the weirdest place to play, probably for me, would be like, oh, I got it. In my ex's sister's bed.
Great.
Would you like context or you just want to leave it as is? I'll leave it up to you. You can get context if you want, or if you want the mystery. My ex's sister's bed is probably the weirdest place I played old school RuneScape.
Moving on. 2KJ says, thanks for all you do. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Jay. Right now, I'm laying in a tent in the middle of a big music festival held in the middle of nowhere. Where's the weirdest places / coolest places you have played old school RuneScape?
Next question.
Thank you, 2KJ. I think the weirdest place I've ever played, like OSR's mobile, was JCPenney's on the day we did the meetup.
Party was good, yeah.
Man, we're almost done with the questions.
I never thought we'd see the day.
Finally.
Finally? What do you mean finally? Is this
Last
the last
question? Yeah.
What? Why thought we had YouTube questions? What?
Yeah. We have some video questions. But this is the last of the just like purely let's read them out. All right. So, Salted Snail says, what's your favorite thing about being a content creator? And did you expect to grow the TNL community as fast as it has? Man, my favorite thing about being a content creator is like kind of twofold. One, it's really cool to connect with other bigger content creators like we have in the last couple months. Like getting to hang out with Hanani, Zulu, Tanzu, and Vertoso. Like that's something I never thought we would do. Like I feel like I'm making a genuine friendship with these people past just having them on the show. Like me and Hanani, we've chatted past just her being on the show. So like those kinds of things are really cool. And then as far as being a content creator, I don't know that I would call myself like an actual OSR's content creator. That seems like a little far-fetched.
Mm-hmm.
But we are. At
Yeah,
the end of the
we
day,
are.
like we make content that people consume. On a scale maybe a little bit smaller, but you got to think a podcast is a little bit different than like what, a big content creator can pull as far as views. So I'm not ashamed to say that like we get a fraction of what maybe Settled or Framed or those
But
big.
we don't make content that's as consumable. Like this episode's pushing 3.5, 4 hours as it is. Like people aren't this isn't gonna be their comfort episode to watch, because this is like when you watch a comfort show, you watch like, for me, like Archer season 4 is really good comfort TV for me, or like The Office season 5 or season 7. Like it's really good comfort TV for me. I love it. Frankly, The Office season 2 is hysterical, but like XP Waste episode 99, that's not like a comfort show to wind down before bed. That's like an evening long commitment, So like it's not impossible that people, when a Swampletics episode is 15, 20 minutes long, that you can go back and you can watch it on repeat. I've been considering rewatching In Debt for a Pet just because I like it so much, and I feel like we don't benefit from that because our content is so long, but we benefit for a lot of other reasons too. Like most people can't watch settled in the car on the way to work, but they can watch us. You know, most people, like, if you're working for 8 hours at a job that's not particularly interesting, you know, or not particularly engaging, whether you like it or not, you know, podcast, like an episode of Swampletics is an hour and a half at most for the grand finale. Then what? You got 6.5 hours left, but like we fill that niche of like you can't even get through 3 episodes as of late in 6 hours. So, you know, I think we just benefit a lot of other places that other YouTube content creators don't. So, yeah. I mean, I think for me, the biggest thing that I think I've gained from being a content creator is I finally achieved what I set out to do, you know? Not that I finally did it, but like, you know, when we started this whole thing, I guess, like I said earlier, I started Twitch to make friends. I think I've done that pretty well, again, as exhibited by the fact that I got an internet guy in my bedroom right now recording a podcast. But like, even before XP Waste, I think I succeeded in that goal, and I just continue to succeed with like making friends who I talk to every single day. And it's not a joke that like we really do in some form or another, whether it's Discord or VC or Snapchat or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, communicate every single day. You know, and like at this point, there's not much of a distinction between real friends, like IRL friends, and friends I've met through doing this.
Yeah. I would agree.
So there's that piece of it that like is fucking awesome. You know, Instagram reels are distractions from me. See, Immortal started sending me Instagram reels during, I think, King of the Hill Bingo. He just kept sending me thirst traps. Like back to, like, he would go out of his way to find like the most like titties out thirst traps he could find to get me to stop doing content to watch the Instagram reels. But now he's just sending me shit that he thinks is funny because he got so used to it during King of the Hill.
I love
that
it.
Immortal and I, like, I rely on Immortal for a steady stream of consistent Instagram reels at this
Love
point.
it.
Because I don't think I've gotten a thirst trap in months, but I get quality content whenever Immortal TMs me on Instagram. So like,
awesome.
you know, the best thing I've gotten out of that is the friends that I've made. And as far as TNL, like, nobody knew, you know, but nobody knew or nobody expected or nobody even wanted TNL to grow the way it did. But without TNL, this doesn't grow the way it does because, like, we don't hang out in another Discord that isn't TNL
Right.
when this starts in 2021 or whenever it is. So
I think we've talked about it on the podcast before. If you're a newer listener, you may not know the story. But Oxie and I went like back and forth extensively on the thought of, do we start an XP Waste specific Discord, or do we bring all of our new friends into TNL? Now, looking back, whether or not we brought everybody into TNL or we made the XP Waste Discord, I think the result would have been the same. You know, like people who were in TNL at the time probably would have just joined the XP Waste Discord and would have been prominent members. But looking back, it's like we had a decision to make at that time, and it was a serious decision of, do we want to leave all of the stuff that we've like made over the years, over the months and months of like growing TNL? Do we want to just leave that behind? And the decision at the time was no. Like, we want people to join in on this like amazing community that we had as friends. Before before XP Waste, we had like maybe 100 people in the Discord, maybe 150,
like 15 to 20
yeah, and
members.
Right, there was like a handful of people who were actually active day to day, and that's okay. Like, to think that you have a Discord of a couple hundred people and like there's a couple hundred people, or like there's a handful of people who are active, that's fine. That's a great start. But now there's like 1,600 people in TNL, Team No Life. Not many people know it's like the origins of it is Team No Life, because we all just no life this game.
Well, it's originally because Scape really liked Mr. No Sleep.
That's
And
true.
he's just like, F it, that's good. That's a good name. And then, like, here we are. I don't even use the real clan name anymore on Team No Life. It's just TNL. So,
But yeah, looking back, like it could have gone either way. We could have made a new Discord, called it XPways, or we could have, we actually did keep everybody in TNL. And I think the end result is the same. Like, we have an amazing community of people who just like are here for the community. We have a community of people here for the community. I said that. I said what I said.
Doing great, brother.
We have a group of people who they've just created an amazing community that's welcoming, that's helpful, that like yearns to like teach others. If you've seen team chat in our Discord, like it's popping off every single day. Like half the time that I get a ping, it's because of team chat, which is fine.
Chat, yeah.
The team search. So I don't know. Like going back to the question, I didn't expect it, but it's a happy result of what this podcast has done. We're on episode 99, and like I don't know, like if we didn't start this podcast, TNL would probably be at like maybe 200, 300 people.
It may be dead at this point.
Yeah, quite possibly could
Might
have been
just
dead.
be like 6 people hanging out and talking.
Sure. Like the first bingo that we did, we had 20 people, and that's because we asked people to join.
pretty much, yeah.
The second bingo we did, we had a little bit of XP waste participation. Like I don't know that we would have gone past that first bingo. If I'm being honest, we may have been absolved and dissolved into
Springo
Vikings.
before. We did Springo before the XP started.
Did we really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
But even then, we had to get all those people from a different server to play.
Okay. Yeah. I could see, and if you guys know Vikings, if you've been around TNL long enough, you know what Vikings is. We probably would have gotten dissolved into Vikings. Like you and I and Scape would have been Vikings admins if we never started TNL. Like if we had never started XB Waste. Did you just drop your pizza?
Yeah. We're down bad, boys.
That last piece of pizza though.
What's yours?
Cheers, mate. Yeah. Thank you for the question, Salted Snail.
Nate Dogg has one in the Twitch chat, which I think we have one more in the recording booth. Number on the video questions.
No, we have no more.
There are
Oh, in the
video
recording booth.
questions?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So Nate says, how do you deal with Planker's guilt of being a learner at Cox or Tob? I always feel bad for ruining Purple Chance. Well, I wouldn't know because, as my raid team can tell you, I've literally never died, ever. I'm quite literally unkillable in raids, especially Theater of Blood, especially Challenge Mode Chambers, specifically at Vanguards and Vasa. I can't be killed. I'm just too good, But, let's say hypothetically I did die a lot in every room and every raid. Hypothetically, of course. When you're learning content, the people who are going, it's not on you to deal with the guilt. Right? You're going to feel guilty because you're taking away that purple chance. But as someone who brings learners to content, as someone who teaches people content, I don't expect to get big money when I'm taking a learner, because when you're bringing a learner on a raid, it's not about getting the big drop. You're not hunting purples. You're teaching people how to do the content. So if people are making you feel guilty for dying, them, find better teammates. And if you're yourself feeling guilty, just be confident in knowing that the people you are dying with are there to teach you the content, and they're not there to get purples. Because if they really wanted to spend all day getting purples, you don't take learners. Which eventually you'll go with them on runs to get purples all day because you're no longer a learner. But when you're just starting out, go ahead and die. It's okay. That's coming from someone who's never planked. Ever. Never died at TOB. One and done Inferno.
What a freaking liar.
I've never died ever.
I'm sorry. I'm cracking up over here at the comment. How are you guys feeling? And why does Michael Michael have his clothes back on?
I didn't know if you changed your shirt. What the hell?
I feel more comfortable in my own skin. I'm feeling okay.
Jesus Christ.
I
So,
really want to finish that pizza.
eat it. Okay. The last one we have from Iron Otis 34 is when you do quit OSRS, what do you guys think the reason will be? Wow, that is one hell of a question to end the typed questions out on. When I quit OSRS, life has probably become too important in other places.
Yeah, 100%.
I probably have my own children, plural. You know, I can't say like, I'll say like, oh, I have a long-term partner, I have children, I have a more stable job. And I'm looking at Michael who has all those things. So like, who knows? The obvious answer is whenever the server is shut down, you know, but I think what's really going to prevent me from playing, because like, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention in the last couple of episodes. I'm burnt as f***. Like, my weekly updates have been like, yeah, I logged in. That's it. Like, I've been mega burnt on old school content, but I keep logging in because I like the people that are playing. So to end this question, kind of like how I've answered every other question, I'll probably quit and never be done playing old school RuneScape, or never come back to old school RuneScape. When the people I play it with never come back to old school RuneScape. When I no longer have a raid team, when I no longer have people I can do content with, when I no longer have people I can sit in Discord with. And the worst part of it is, as depressing as it sounds, it's going to happen. One day, this will be gone. The show, the Discord, it will be a memory for all of us. That's not a bad thing, right? 20 years from now, I highly doubt XP Waste will still be a popular show, right? I doubt it'll be a show at all in 20 years. But, you know, when I can't believe you just dropped that pineapple and ate it right off the ground, cat hair and all, you sick f***. But don't do that. But I don't think, you know, for me, that's not a reason to stop enjoying it right now. And when that happens organically, hopefully it all happens because we all get to a point to where other things become more important than what we're doing right now. When other things become more important than RuneScape, more important than XP Waste, more important than our community. And like, we're passionate as f*** about this show. So when something comes along that makes us go, yeah, I think we're done. It's big, whatever it is. So at the end of the day, unless the server shut down tomorrow, it's going to be when the people I play with stop playing, pretty much. But it has to be like all at once, because we've had people like Scape. I haven't talked to Scape in VC since like October. And I fucking love that guy.
Agreed.
So I feel like for someone like Scape, life happened.
Yeah.
And like, not like got in the way, but like life progressed to a point where like
he's happy not playing.
He switched his work schedule to spend more time with his wife and child.
Yeah.
And he's much happier now spending time with his wife and child than he was staying up till 7 o'clock in the morning his time playing RuneScape with us. Not that he wasn't happy doing that, but like, you know, the fun you give up, you gain in a lot of other places. So like Scape is gone. He's not gone, of course, but like he's just not been around, and like that sucks. Like, yes, he can always come back, but like, you know, if everyone leaves at the same time, that's gonna suck. Because at what point, you know, do you become the last bastion of people waiting for other people to come back and join VC? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I think for me, it would have to take like massive a massive change in how they like update the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it just becomes where the developers and Jagex in general just stop giving a crap about RuneScape, old school RuneScape, like it becomes how old school or not so old.
RS3.
It becomes like how RuneScape Classic was,
Yeah.
where they're like, "Hey guys, got 2 more months with this server. Sorry."
God, could you imagine though?
Yeah.
The amount of fun we would have in that 2 months. Just think about it.
It would be
the
fun.
chaos that 2 months would be. The
It would be
anxiety and just the
fun.
pure like, I'm not gonna get my Verzik helm in 2 months. And at this point, who fucking cares?
Right. It would be fun, but also
Like-
massively depressing.
Of course it would be, but like, it's less a matter of like Thanos snap and everything's gone, and more of like you get to stand with your friends and watch the sun explode together, you know?
Yeah.
Because you know it's coming. I feel like that would, in a way, as sad as it would be a very fitting end. Kind of like how when Leagues ends and everyone's all gathered together in one place and they turn the
Just
servers
drop
off and
everything
you
off.
can't
They
log
just
off and
drop
everything is
everything.
gone. I feel like that's how it's got to be. They got to give us warning, you know?
Like the last ride into the sun.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, like what would make me quit would just probably be like life becomes overwhelming. Like my wife and I are talking, like we're seriously having conversations about buying a house and like what a second kid would look like. And I don't know, I feel like right now it's manageable enough that I can still do the podcast and like play the game and have a hobby with one kid, but that may seriously change with 2. I hope
Who's
it
to
doesn't.
say?
I hope it doesn't. Like,
But if it does, non el fino del mundo. You got a fucking kid, you know?
yeah,
You're 2 kids at this point.
right. Well, here's the thing. I think as a parent, there are some people who can make the switch and like being a parent is their entire personality. There are some people who can do that. I am not that person. And I know that my wife is not that person. So like we've not made the decision, but we've also talked about like we are people who are parents. We're not parents. No shame and no judgment to people who make being a parent their entire identity, because I respect the hell out of you. And I don't just say that to say that. Like being a parent is incredibly difficult, but also incredibly rewarding. And those 2 things can coincide in the same exact space. But being who I am and being a parent are separate for me at this point in my life. I love my son, but I also love being me. And I think that for me, and I'm not trying to give any advice or shame anybody, but I think for me, being a parent, but also being my own person is healthy for me. And I don't ever venture to speak for my wife, but I also know that she likes having her own things. Like growing up, I know that my mom, she like whatever she did, but she liked sewing and she liked quilting, and that was her thing.
Yeah.
But a majority of the time, to me, she was a parent. She was my mom. It wasn't until I was much older and I was a teenager and like I started doing my own things that I feel like my mom really like leaned into being her own self, and same for my dad. Well, like I want to do that in my own life. Going back to the question, like, what do you do when you quit? Like, I don't know, pick up another game, continue pursuing a hobby, continue pursuing self-interests, honing crafts. Like I love,
Show my kids how to play Halo and then teach them casual Slayer and campaign on easy and normal.
yeah.
And then if they act like absolute shitters, say, all right, SWAT, DMR only SWAT. I feel like Death from the Puss in Boots TikTok, like pick it up. Pick it up. Just DMR SWAT on like I forgot the name of it, the fucking vertical map from Halo Reach with all the different floors and the Oni base or whatever.
Seriously though, like I want to, when my son turns, 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6, I want to introduce him to the world of PC gaming, of console gaming, of getting him his own computer, if that's what he wants to do. The kid may be really into sports. I'm not so much into sports, but like if that's what he's into, 100% would support him. If he's into PC gaming, if he's into video games, hell yeah, we'll do it together. I'll make a family Minecraft server. We'll all play together. At the end of the day, RuneScape is not the end all be all of my life. For some people it is, but like it's a great hobby to have right now, and it's definitely giving me a creative outlet. I know for Oxie, before I asked him if he wanted to be my co-host, he was into streaming, and I was also into streaming
like crazy.
He was trying to make really subpar like guides.
Listen, man. I was streaming. Well, 2020, I streamed a ton because I really liked it. There was nothing else to do in 2020. I was dating a streamer. Like, I was like surrounded by content in 2020.
Move over a little bit.
So like, as far as like streaming is concerned, I did it a lot because it was what I was around and I really liked it. Now, this is the first time I've streamed for you guys for the show. I think maybe since January, December, maybe since I've been live.
I have not been live this year almost at all. I think I streamed like maybe New Year's Eve. I just haven't had to drive, anymore. I don't have to drive. Maybe when I download Age of Mythology, I'll stream that.
Who knows? Could be a change.
But at the end of the day, RuneScape is, again, to summarize it, RuneScape is not the end all be all of my life. It's a great addition to my life right now, but there are other things that could occupy my time just as much as what I'm doing in RuneScape, because I've proven that I can occupy my time outside of playing RuneScape.
Yeah. Well, way to wrap up this part of this episode with this fucking soul-shattering question, Otis. We do appreciate it. Genuinely do, because it's a good question. It's a good answer to have. I like getting real here on the show. Normally, this is where we would call 99.
We got a couple more.
3 more video responses.
Couple more here.
So we're not done yet, baby. Let's fucking go.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
To the server shutdown.
This is an audio-only question, so we're going to play it for you.
Hello, Michael and Oxie. A guy named Spari here. Is there something that you wish you knew about podcasting when you first started that you know now?
I feel like we should have played this one earlier in the episode. Great question, Spari.
Did he ask this question, Lark? Hold on. Did he ask this already? I feel like... Yeah, he asked this one in text already, so we can skip that.
I like you well enough, Spari. I'm going to ask it again, or answer it again. TLDR, streamers, you still, like, adjust people's audio to your standard of a show. Because the most problems we've had have been with guests not being bad people, but it's always been technical problems. And now that I know not only how to fix them, but what problems exist in the first place, because the amount of times, like, what do you mean it's an MKV file? What the fuck is an MKV file? Or like, what is a iMac movie file? Like how do I do with an MOV file versus an MP4? Like problems I didn't even know existed. Knowing that now, you centralize everything and you test record long before the episode starts.
Yep.
But thank you for the question, Spari.
Yeah,
thank you for the video question. I wish we would have answered that earlier when we answered your text question. We did technically, but like I wish you would have played the video then. But
we have another video question. This is from Andrew R.
This question's for Oxie specifically. Ass or tits?
Look me in the fucking eyes. Look me in the fucking eyes. Boys will pick ass or tits. Men will choose both. You always fucking choose both. Right? You want to ascend to godhood, you choose personality. But real men choose both. Next question.
Next question.
I don't even know who asked that question.
That was Andrew R.
Thanks, Andrew R.
All right.
This
Now
is the final
We've
question.
come to the final.
God, we're at
Final
4 hours
question.
and 5 minutes on the recording track.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yo, what's going on, XP Wasters? This is Lips. I recently found this podcast, so I'm pretty new. But my question goes out to Michael. I keep hearing you say you love cooking. What about it do you enjoy the most and why?
Thank you, Lips, for that question. Honestly, I think I've said it in the past. Like, it's not so much the actual skill. Like, cooking on its own is a pretty boring skill, if I'm being 100% honest. But to me, it's more of like at the end of the day, it's something that I achieved. It's something that I was able to set my mind to and complete in the game more than once. RuneScape 2. Like before old school RuneScape, before EOC, my very first account, I got 99 cooking. And that was a massive accomplishment for like 13 or 14-year-old me. Massive. I set myself in old school RuneScape. Not, I guess, like unconsciously to make cooking my first 99 in old school RuneScape as well. And so those two things put together have led me to say, hey, if I'm going to get a 200 mil in this game, you're damn sure it's got to be cooking. Like, there's no other 200 mil that I can feasibly get that would mean more to me as a person than 200 mil cooking. So it's not that cooking is like this amazing skill that's so fun to train. It goes back to like making childhood me proud and like fulfilling that childhood dream of getting a 99. I feel like a lot of people, they never got a 99 back when RuneScape 2 and before EOC.
I never got a 99.
Yeah, so like RuneScape, like old school RuneScape was their first ever chance to get a 99, but I did it. Like I got 99 cooking and I wore that cape everywhere before I quit in like 2008 or 2009. So it's massive for me. It's not, and again, like to wrap it up, it's like it's not anything super great. Not this massive accomplishment to get 99 cooking or even 200 mil cooking, but it's just like as a tip of the hat to younger me who would feel really, really cool knowing that future me got 200 mil cooking.
Hey, man, we say it every week. Achievements are subjective. You think it's fucking awesome? Go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, nostalgia. It's a crazy thing.
That's why we're here, I suppose, in one way or another.
That's why we're all here.
But
That's why we're all here.
I suppose that does wrap up episode 99.
Damn. We didn't quite hit the 4-hour mark for the actual
Who knows?
episode.
We might. Because we have all that stuff in the beginning before the technical difficulties. We just might. This might be the fabled 4-hour episode. The episode worth 4 hours. 4 hours. It's 4 hours long. It's an hour times 4. The poison. Cusco's poison.
Cusco's poison.
We're extending it as much
Yo,
as we can.
The Twitch chat is really calling for tank is cool.
Dog, pets aren't achievements, my guy.
I know, but
pets
they
are
just,
good R&D.
they
I don't
really
even
just
know what
want
pet he got.
Tank is cool to get a shout out. Shout out to you, Tank is cool. Is
Check
this an awesome
Discord?
drops or what? 900k see what? Giant mole
Oh,
pet.
it's a mole pet.
901 KC giant
Sick.
mole.
Trillo got the Kraken pet too, which is just
Oh
fucking
man.
hysterical. R.I.P. TMD. But
Okay, so just as a recap, we made Sarah Dahlman brews, we made super restores, and we had pineapple pizza. How in the world Are we ever going to top episode 99? Episode 126? Potentially. Episode 2277? Maybe.
If we're still going for episode 277, I think we just quit at that point, you know?
Maybe 277 or 227. And then we put a little 0.7 on it.
Jesus.
Thank you so much, everyone who has been with us the last 2 years of us doing this episode, this podcast. It means a lot. Like, I would have never, ever considered, like, in 2 years, I would be sitting in Oxie's room, drinking beer, eating pizza, making this podcast, getting drunk.
Really fucking drunk.
Like, you guys are awesome. And if this is your first episode, thank you so much.
Maybe come back and get a little bit more context.
Hell yeah.
Before you sit through this 4-hour shit show.
Go back to a previous episode.
But hey, we appreciate you nonetheless.
We appreciate you so much. You guys are the reason we do this, and you're the reason we continue to do this every single week. We want to make this up. We want to make this podcast the best that it can possibly be for you guys. Because, like, without the thousands of you that listen each and every week, this would just be me and Oxie talking in a Discord. This would be like a random Discord conversation between two guys who may or may not know a thing or two
really
about
not
this game.
That good about it. Really not that good at this game.
Right. So we appreciate you guys just as much as, from what I can see in the Twitch chat, you appreciate us. So massive thanks. I suppose we should quickly shout out our patrons. Thank you so much to everybody who supports us on Patreon.
And that's the extent of the shout out, because I can't even
Thank you
fucking
so
type
much.
Patreon because my keyboard is way over there. Remember how last week someone said full Patreon list?
Oh my God.
Absolutely can't do it. We said we do Achievement of the Week and Community Question and Patreon. We lied. So Achievement of the Week is going to be fucking chaos next week.
It's going to be like a month worth.
It's just genuinely going to be like a month's worth of people.
Gosh.
Well, no, because you figured we did 97 and 98 in the same weekend.
Yeah.
So, like, between 97 and 98, we had 2 days, plus a week between 99, plus we're taking next weekend off.
It's going to be like 4 weeks.
It's going to be about 3 or 4 weeks of achievements, but it's going to be worth it.
Just know you will get shouted out. Shout out to the Gnome Child. Amen.
I absolutely love that you said the other day that, like, Gecko made a comment about, like, not getting shouted out for his RuneScape, and he was the only person that got shouted out last week because it happened, like, the day we recorded with Tanzu and Vertoso. Crazy how timelines work, bro. Scotty's got the fucking Oxie, God, what's that thing called? The Oxie,
Men's Medium.
Men's Medium? I forget the name of that email. That's how long I've not been on Twitch for, but a good time. Thank you for coming up, my friend. It's been one hell of a weekend, one hell of an episode. So,
give me a handshake, shall ya? Will ya? Thanks, guys. Hey, we'll see you guys next week.
hi. I said we gotta take. There's only one way we take this out.
What is it?
Doon 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 do 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 do. See you guys at 200 mil. Bye, everyone.